Hey, it's the Redeye Stream number 153. Asgardia. What is it? Seriously. Like the first space nation. It's fucking weird. And either the guy that created it is a madman or a genius. What do you think, memes?
Well, that seems like a very accurate assessment. I say this based off of the sheer fact of how much Cabbage dislikes it and blames people like me for this, but the sheer fact that it's working is, what is it? It's a story. It's the first nation in space. You get to claim something. You can actually say, hey, I was one of the first 250,000 of people to become an Asgardian. And as we must remember, Asgard is not a place. It is a people.
I thought for sure you were going to say a state of mind. God damn it.
Oh my god, no.
What the hell is going on?
Aye.
Yeah.
I was here for a minute confused on what the fuck you were talking about.
We are talking about Asgard. Would you like to become an Asgardian?
Oh.
No.
I really want to play the anthem, but I don't want to get your channel struck.
If you did, it would add to the drama that is Asgard.
Well, if you sign up, then you're a citizen. You're allowed to play the anthem, right? I mean,
I signed up.
Whoa, but Mad Dodge is going to run to be mayor. I mean, that's what some folks are saying.
The coat of arms.
It would only be polite to start off with the Asgardian national anthem if you're already a citizen.
Nobody kneel. No, kidding.
Oh god. Oh.
If we get struck, it will get more contra. Here's the thing: the Redeye struck down by Asgard. Sorry.
Well, they really build up to it, don't they? Oh god, Asgardia! Oh bloody hell! Did they just copy, like Enterprise's fucking theme music and just throw Asgardia in there? Oh, she dropped out. But memes, okay, we got a taste of the Asgardian national anthem. Yes, folks. That's the real national anthem. They also have a constitution, which we will be taking a look at after we get all these space Nazi jokes out of the way, Jacob.
Aww.
I will tell you one thing, that theme is putting me to sleep.
It's all part of the plan.
Is that part of the plan? Put the whole world to sleep with their shitty national anthem?
Hey, Jigglypuff almost did it. If Jigglypuff can't, then Asgardia can.
Yeah, it's loud and obnoxious, and I normally love opera, but just no.
Oh, but no, they do have a constitution. They they christened the first president in Vienna earlier this month, I believe. They tend to think this is a real thing. It's backed by a multi-billionaire, and he's serious about it. He even has the shiny necklace to prove it.
Wait, is he the president?
Yes, I believe so.
I believe he's actually the second president, because I believe, and I don't know the gal's name, my apologies, but I believe she ceded the presidency to said billionaire who then became the president and then has the necklace.
Well, no, and that was a very shiny necklace. I will give them props on that.
Parliamentary and government elections. constitutional voting. Jesus Christ. Geography, citizenship, politics. There's all kinds of shit in here.
Oh yeah, it's their entire platform. They're not fucking around with this shit. And all jokes aside, maybe we should take them seriously. What implications would this actually have in the geopolitical realm if they got recognized by the UN? Then can the international community still go out into space and have the space station? What about colonizing Mars? Is that now Asgardia's job? I mean, these are all real questions, right?
Well, here's the thing. If they were to get recognized by the UN, as Sealand did, being recognized as an actual nation, then it's game on, man. Because at that point, the world community then basically says, all right, you have the right to colonize space. And it's like, all right, we already have things set up in place. We have funding. We've been stockpiling equipment. Let's do it. I think we'd see a new space race.
That's very interesting. Yeah, because you would have the United States and Russia, China, even the European Union out there planting their flag. But Asgardia would contest that.
No. Well, here's the thing. When do you run into problems? When you run out of prime real estate. The way, yeah, go ahead.
Well, no, Sherardi was trying to say something. I was trying to give her a second to say whatever she wanted to.
You were just talking about the different countries there for a second, and I was just scrolling past some of this stuff, and it was talking about language. What is the language principle, and what languages are the basis for the districts in this election?
Wait a second. Is the language memes?
No. Let him speak.
Could it be?
I didn't hear all of what you said because you got muted.
Oh, I'm sorry. Could the language be memes, like memetics, like pictures with like maybe a few words?
No, it said in the current election, the 12 districts are English, Chinese, Turkish, Spanish, Italian, French, Russian, Arabic, Portuguese, German, Farsi, and Hindi. And the 13th district has been created for speakers of all other languages.
Wait, District 13? That sounds vaguely familiar from a movie.
Well, what could go wrong? Wait, who's in District 13?
But no, I mean, okay, so it sounds like they're letting the citizens keep their own nationality, at least up to this point, right? Because I read it all through also, and I didn't see anything about renouncing your citizenship at all.
Did you read the whole thing through?
I read the Constitution through, and I read the terms of service for the site and everything else that they could possibly.
Did you see the full plan? And again, I haven't read it myself, along from my just basic skimming and going down the button that says "Become an Asgardian," which I'm not going to lie, that really intrigued me, seeing a button that I could press to become an Asgardian. But Cabbage did say at one point something about revoking citizenship. I think what that would be is at the point where if you're actually seeing colonization of, I believe the moon had been mentioned, if that physically becomes a thing to actually become an Asgardian on another terrestrial body, if you want to become something else, you got to kind of cut your ties, right?
Well, do you? There's dual citizens in America still. You know, you could hold dual citizenship from Canada.
Is that addressed in the Asgardian plan?
Not that I saw, no. Cabbage, what he's basing his information off of is the original video that he saw and he shared with me. That's how this came to my attention. That video is by Truth Storm Media, and they used to work for Alex Jones, and they left InfoWars a few years back and started making their own documentaries and stuff. So some of what they say is rather out there, kind of like InfoWars, but This is a real thing. They are correct on this one. We have the website. I'll be screen sharing here soon of the Constitution when we want to dig into that. I'm still hoping Cabby shows up. We've only been going for about 10 minutes, so.
Well, apparently Miss Quinn is becoming now. So at this point, we're talking upwards of 250,000 folks that have become Asgardians, and 1 million folks are following and seeing what's going on. I don't know what does that say.
Oh man, I knew I shouldn't have put that link in there. Everybody's gonna be joining Asgardia now. I'm helping them. No.
You actually put the link in there?
Oh yeah, I have the link in the description along with my Streamlabs and PayPal and all the others. But no, let's take a look at this Constitution. Oh yeah, here. I have the link in the description.
Somebody, PayPal and all the others. You need to mute the stream, Wolf.
I muted him because he may have been AFK. He can feel free to unmute anytime you get back, bud. But all right, MD's presenting. Let's go.
All right, yeah. So here is the Constitution here. We're not going to read this whole thing. 35 fucking pages.
But all right, MD's presenting. Let's go.
All right, yeah. So here is the Constitution here. We're not going to read this whole thing. 35 fucking pages. Yeah. Turn down your speaker a little bit. I hate hearing my own voice right after I say something. But we're going to scroll to where the text actually starts here. Come on. All right. So, we, the people of planet Earth, irrespective of our place of birth, residence, language, gender, race, nationality, religion, citizenship, or citizenship of the existing Earth states, use our free choice, will, and conviction in the desire to unite the future humanity as trans-ethnic, transnational, trans-religious, ethical, fair, peaceful, looking into the infinite universe, beyond or based on equality and dignity of every human being. Holy shit, that was a mouthful. We also resolve differences, conflicts, inequality, and imperfections in human history, bring spiritual and scientific practices and human creative achievements to a new level in all their civilized national and cultural multitude. Do they know how to speak English? I swear they're translating this from a different language. And launch a new era in the history of space humanity, based on the Declaration of Unity of Asgardia as an integral part of this Constitution. Have founded Asgardia, the first in human history space kingdom, and hereby adopt this Constitution of Asgardia. So, okay, let's stop right there. I forgot about that part. This is a constitutional monarchy.
What? I thought that was a president.
There's a president, and then there's the Space King, which I don't even know who that is.
Who's the Space King?
I don't know. But just saying that is interesting.
Is it Jeff Goldblum?
It's Zug or Zog. I don't know. I forgot about that. This is a space kingdom, people. So that's really interesting to note.
It really sounds like we're going back to like playing Utopia or Dominion.
It'd be funny if this actually turned out to be an elaborate hoax for a video game.
Dude, it would be a great. Actually, the funny thing is, like when they first started talking about this reminds me of what was it? It's a game one of my stepbrothers like started playing like the early alpha and like it is so involved. It literally like when you start actually creating your items, like you actually aim where you're smithing on the sword, you would control your foot. Like they've thought this shit through. Pardon my French. But it just goes so deep into it. Hold on, what is it? I have it here somewhere. Someone else can take over. Sealand becomes a nation. Communications Act. Oh God, too many things.
Okay, well, while you're trying to look up that game so you can say the name of it. Okay, number one, Asgardia is a free and unified space nation. Okay, all right. I guess I can get behind that part. Even though I thought it was a space kingdom in the last page, but hey, whatever. Tomato, tomato. 2, the objectives of Asgardia is to ensure permanent peace in space. How can you do that without a space military or space force?
They explain it later in a video. I'm not sure when that video did come to be, but they said the defense of the Earth from basically anyone that may try to mess with us, or basically they say any space hazards, which does kind of make sense, because if there's a big hurtling asteroid coming that MC shot at us, it'd be nice to be able to defend ourselves.
So Asgardia, we're going to use this to defend ourselves from MC's his asteroid.
No, that makes so much more sense, because Cabbage got so angry, because as we know, Cabbage is an alpha AI, MC is a US-based beta AI, so that's why this triggers them so badly, because they hate this.
Immensely.
Okay, so also in section 2 of chapter 1 here, to ensure equal opportunities in space for all Asgardians currently residing on Earth, regardless of their earthly citizenships, and to promote the welfare of the entire humankind. Humankind, it's mankind, you fucks. Fucking assholes. Okay, so it sounds like to me that they are allowing you to keep your citizenship here on Earth. It's just if you do leave, you're, then an Asgardian and you're protected under their constitution. I don't know. No thoughts on that? Okay. Well, I hate that.
Wait, hold on. Which part was it?
I think that we shortened humankind a long time ago to mankind.
Well, that was my point. Yeah, it's mankind. I mean, they don't mean there is no such thing as a woman, okay? Fucking assholes.
Well, I'm thinking always better be safe than sorry, and read the entire thing, because there's always something you might miss.
Oh, absolutely. We're not going to go line by line on this stream through this, so that'll take fucking hours. Yeah. Okay, so 3, anyone can become a citizen of Asgardia, conditional on assenting to the declaration and abiding by the Constitution and the legislation of Asgardia. So anybody can join. So welcome as fellow Asgardians.
As long as you obey.
Yeah, exactly. You have to obey the Space King, all right? Space King Zool. You better obey him.
Zool.
It's like going to somebody's Discord server. You obey the ruler of said Discord server.
What? What if they're wrong?
Or what if you want to create a slave uprising in a certain person's Discord?
Well, Mad Dodge, here's the thing. Have you gotten to the point in the Asgardian Constitution, is secession possible?
Oh, I doubt it. It says right up here, Asgardia is a free and unified space nation. That right there tells me there is no such thing as secession for these guys.
So no slaves for me.
Oh, no, you're a slave, no matter what.
It sounds like they're trying to create a blanket umbrella for humanity to try to, in a benevolent means, try to level up.
Well, no, and I wanted to get to that question.
There's bots.
I did write it in the description. Is this a globalist agenda to try and get a one world government? Kind of looks that way to me, but who knows yet?
Well,
I like this next one. Number 4.
Oh, yeah. All citizens of Asgardia are equal, irrespective of their earthly country of origin, residence, citizenship, race, nationality, gender, religion, language, financial standing, or any other attribute. But if you want to run for mayor, they want 100 euros, by the way. So, financial standing, not so much.
Well, isn't it like standard politics? You got to toss at least some money to play the game.
I like how you said play the game, because this is looking like a game. I'm fucking totally following
Chronicles of
along with
Illyria. That's the game. If anyone looks it up,
Like Monopoly.
Spaceopoly? That's a thing.
Sure.
And apparently now it really is.
All right, so it continues. Asgardia respects the laws of and international treaties concluded by the Earth states and wishes to be recognized as having equal status as the rest of the earthly states. That's why they're applying for the UN.
Yeah, no.
So if they actually get approved by the UN, this is real.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen.
Is it?
It's not going to happen.
How do you have a nation? What are the most basic fundamentals?
Who in their right mind is going to be living in outer space?
Hey, I'm down to join that Mars mission. That sounds like fun. Might be a little vacation from the family. It'll be great.
I think it's a one-way ticket indeed.
You're too good
wait,
of a dad. You wouldn't miss them.
They're not going to let me come back, and they're not sending Burger King with us? Fuck.
No.
Never mind.
Wait. Can we have Taco Bell?
No.
Oh, in a spaceship? Horrible idea.
Donald?
No.
Wendy's.
No.
Wendy's, is it? Oh. I don't like this idea anymore.
You gotta be green.
No, the moon isn't that far. Getting a burger to the moon is a lot easier than getting to Mars.
You have to be green.
Well, think of the delivery time. No, not all Martians are green. I think.
Oh, Spud says check Article 6.1.
6.1. Uh-oh.
Okay, let's finish their little declaration here real quick, and then we'll continue on and check that out. Asgardia does not interfere in any affairs of the Earth states based on recipient. I don't know. Pretty much, I think, based on if they don't fuck with Asgardia, Asgardia won't fuck with them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Asgardia participates in global events on Earth, similar to the Earth states, based on its membership in the respective international organizations, i.e., the UN. Oh my God! Could you imagine Asgardia as a NATO member? That's a waste of fucking money right there. They might do it.
Prime territory.
Why are we even contemplating wasting so much money on this place?
Well, okay. I have a theory here. So Donald Trump announces the Space Force, and then like a month later, Asgardia is formed. That seems fishy. I'm just saying. I think Trump knew about Asgardia, and he's going to take them out. It's just a theory.
Well, it's not like somebody immediately after the acknowledgement from the President of the United States that they plan on spending money on a space force in outer space, then if all of a sudden you're going to have
having a good day today.
It's all right. Internet happens. But no, that combined with the sheer fact that you brought this up the day after while on a 3-hour flight home from Disney World, that I basically watched Thor Ragnarok. And just the sheer timing of that and you bringing that up, it's fresh in my mind. I'm like, well, if Asgard isn't a place, it's a people. They're playing upon that mimetic right there. And that is what I think causes Cabbage great mental anguish as well. Because here's the thing. It seems to, if they're acknowledged by the UN, like technically like this is real.
This is terrible. That's what it is.
Is it? No, but here's the thing. Like, if it turns people's eyes to the stars, to something that's more important than like arguing over like many of the things that we do, like, isn't this like a greater purpose?
You're talking in very broad Star Trek-y type terms, which I like. I love Star Trek, but I don't think this is the answer here. Okay.
Does anyone have a better answer?
Let's do 8 and 9 real quick and get done with this page.
Asgardia have a satellite in space.
Yes. I believe they are. If they don't already have one, they're putting one up that's going to store all the data from the Asgardian citizens. That's so nice of them. Our own cloud network. Yeah, doesn't
Are we
sound
gonna be
good.
chipped too?
Yeah, do we get that nifty little barcode in the back of our fucking hand or whatever?
Well,
But no,
good.
Never mind. Let's just finish reading this.
Yeah, let's finish with 8 and 9 real quick. Asgardia respects, complies with, and protects the rights of citizens of the Earth states, and protects Asgardian citizens in the exceptional nature of their space citizenship. It is quite exceptional. I'll give them that. It's weird. Asgardia has no place for political parties. However, every Asgardian can freely participate in the political life on Earth. Whoa. Wait a fucking minute. Full stop. What? You have mayors.
There's
you have a parliament.
hierarchies.
Yeah, it is a kingdom, in other words.
Yeah,
like they're claiming.
But who's the king?
I don't know, but if that's a title you can run for.
12?
Oh, there's 8 and 9. Oh, is there 10, 11, and 12 on the next page? God damn it. There is. Okay. Asgardia mirrors the Earth without reflecting earthly borders. Nevertheless, in the framework of earthly laws, every Asgardian can freely live within the borders of any Earth state. Asgardia is a nation of free spirit, science, internationalism. I'll say it one more time. Internationalism.
See?
Every Asgardian can... Hell, Cabby's here.
This is the reason.
3 times.
This is the fucking right? Memes, you little punk. The reasons I explained quite clearly why I had problems with this, and it's because of the politics behind it and the effrontery to people. You know, just everything about their manifesto is pure, unadulterated. Well, it's not even really communism. It's pure feudalism. They even call themselves a kingdom.
That's what MD just said.
Yes. So anyway, fuck you. My reasons weren't because of the memetics of it, and that there are plenty of other ways of doing this. All you have to do is do the same thing, but without the politics attached, or without those kinds of politics attached.
Wait a minute, Cabby. There's no place in Asgardia for political parties.
Hey, Cabbage, there's one thing that you must remember. It's Asgard is not a place. It's a people.
Yes, it's a state of mind. Fuck off.
Well, here's the thing. No. If they are recognized by the UN, let's entertain this. It's a real thing. That literally gives them the green light to go and actually like try to start colonizing the moon. Like, wouldn't that actually start like a space race?
Well, potentially. Then it would also, I mean, because then you're setting up an entirely separate kingdom, which would then also create conflict for land and everything else, and you'd be going back to a space feudalism again. It'd be like, ice pirates or something.
But wouldn't it like actually spur like technology for like Russia to try to start colonizing private real estate and the US?
Fine, but if that's never without all the other attachments that go along with this thing.
Oh, Cabby, you're gonna love this one. Okay, 11 and 12. I'm gonna read them both in succession, and then you can go ahead. Asgardia is a nation of free spirit, science, and internationalism. Like I said, every Asgardian can freely practice any religion of Earth in Asgardia. 12. This really pisses me off. There is no place for the history of earthly conflicts in Asgardia. Asgardia creates a new, peaceful history of the future space humankind.
So they're even promoting revisionism now. I mean,
no.
Fucking Orwell.
I'm going for my bachelor's in history. Are you kidding me? So there's no job for me in Asgardia, obviously.
I think what they're saying is, as a wise Disney princess once said, let it go.
Those who don't learn from their past are doomed to repeat it.
Well, yeah, keep it in check, but just don't. I think they want to get rid of just the hate. It's basically it is kind of like a filter. It's like trying to filter hateful folks and feelings, and they're saying, "Hey, we're moving past this with the whole clean slate thing." And if you imagine what happens if everyone just let go of like all the hate you had for all the bad shit that happened to you, like Could we actually figure it out for the future?
Yeah, fine. So that means that also you don't have any reference to the past to know when things can go bad in order to avoid it.
No,
Those who do not learn from the past are destined to repeat it.
Does it say to delete history? Or it just says not to hold like grudges, I thought.
No, doesn't say that. No, it's very specific. Listen
it says there is no place for the history of earthly conflicts in Asgardia. Asgardia creates a new, peaceful history of the future space humankind. It creates a new, peaceful history.
This is cutting out.
It is starting, or it will start.
No, like, it's history. It's history, so it must be relating to the past, right? So they're going to remove the history.
Acknowledging a start.
How can you have future history?
Because that would be a problem. If you're literally saying like, "Yep, this doesn't exist anymore," it's like you don't just delete. What is it?
That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. It's very clear. The wording is extremely clear. It's not. It doesn't really allow for much confusion.
Okay, so it finishes off here. We, the people of Asgardia, will do everything for the prosperity of our new space nation, created by us, for the safeguarding of our motherland, planet Earth. Motherland. That's nice. Why didn't they just go with fatherland? Anyway.
Fatherland.
and the development of the entire humankind in space. We are not the best. We are the future. One humanity, one unity. This declaration is a primary document for the creation of the space nation of Asgardia. Why do they keep going back and forth? In one sentence, it's a nation. In the next, it's a kingdom.
To be fair, no, this was actually, I think it was written in Austrian or some Eastern European language, because I believe he's an Austrian gentleman, the current president or king or whoever it is there.
Yeah.
And to be fair, it does say for the future of the history of spacekind. So I believe they're saying utilize. I think the ethos, and maybe it was how it was translated. I understand what you're saying there. It's when it says the history. If you go back up to it, it says the history of the future of spacekind. So it's written there in a weird way.
All right.
Wait, can I interject something?
Go for it.
What the fuck is this?
Oh, it's
Wolfshot, welcome. Would you like to become an Asgardian?
What the no? What is this?
It's craziness. It's reality.
Be an Asgardian?
No, seriously. Like, is this the Space Force?
No, this is not the Space Force. This is a globalized space kingdom.
Yeah.
Who made this? Is this like
this crazy Austrian guy? No surprise it came out of Austria, is it? Let's face it. An Austrian billionaire. I mean, why is it always the bloody Austrians?
So this isn't like real.
Oh yeah, it's real. Oh yeah. They did an entire presentation. They've got they've got their own anthem. They had kids up on the stage singing the national anthem and everything. It's an entire presentation that they did. No, it's real.
But where do they live in space though?
Well, they don't yet.
Nowhere yet.
They're in the process of setting it up, and they're applying to the UN for recognition. They are already sending up they've got one satellite. Did they say? Someone say there's one satellite up there.
They have a ship out there.
Well, what fucking planet are they gonna go on?
Well, start off at the moon and progress from there. That's their idea. But it's the crazy shit like that we're just breaking down now, which is where the real problems lie. Because these fucking lunatics, who want to go out, and it's a billionaire that's doing this. So this would be like if Elon Musk was, to come out with this, people would take it seriously. It's an Austrian equivalent of Elon Musk.
Tesla-topia?
Right? Yeah, well, you've got plenty of fanboys would go along with it, wouldn't they?
No, you brought up Elon, real quick, Wolfshot. You brought up Elon Musk. What if Elon Musk provides the spaceships, dude? We got this already.
That's what I mean.
You
see? Yeah, I'm telling you. I mean, this is what I mean. It's feasible for these nutters to actually cobble something together. And the problem is, once this sort of crap gets out there, I mean, then you're stuck with it. If it does get any recognition from the UN.
But is that a bad thing?
Of course, it's a bad thing. You just read the fact that they want to remove history. And you say, by the way, if you're saying that, it was a bad translation, well, that's even more fucking worrying then, because if they can't even afford a decent translator to translate their bloody manifesto, then there's a serious problem with these people, right? They're trying to translate their manifesto, which is going to be the thing that takes them into space, and they can't even get a proper translator. Bollocks. It says what it says, and they meant it.
guys. The
Yeah.
dude
What
was
did I-
probably
what did I
high.
just walk into?
The dude was probably high.
Oh no, he was there getting presented
'Cause
with,
this
his,
looks
with
like-
his necklace. No, this is real. You got to watch the video of the
This
actual
looks like-
presentation.
No, this looks like fucking D&D. This looks like goddamn
Yeah.
Skyrim and
I thought they were talking about my stepbrother's game. He's been playing the alpha of Chronicles of Valyria, because when they're describing it, like the exact roles and stuff, like I actually got offered a mayor's package for that game, and I heard MD was running for a mayor.
so fucking like some tabletop RPG bullshit. You really think it's gonna happen? I don't think so.
We've begun to gamify humanity.
Seriously, I mean, this is the thing. I mean, it may not in that format, but they're obviously, once the ground gets laid and things, and this is how this sort of shit gets out of hand.
You're gonna have a whole lot of dead people. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
If they manage to get a fucking spaceship up there, it might last for a week, 2 weeks, a year, but something's gonna happen, and they're all gonna die.
Well, the other problem, if you read the manifesto, the Articles of Confederation, or whatever you want to call them, their constitution, it says that everyone must be productive, right? So you basically get worked into the grave. It's almost like
good. It sounds like North Korea.
It does, exactly. I mean, it sounds exactly
sounds
like
the Wild
turning
West, man.
turning the space into Korea. Yeah, great idea. Great fucking idea. And you know what? I mean, how did all of the colonies of empires get kicked off? Who built them? The poor people, right? They got banged on the head, or they got sent over to Australia or to America or to the colonies if they committed any small minor crime.
Oh, that's
so
true.
If you then end up with all of these people, so those are going to be the people who are going to be exploited by this, North Korean style, intergalactic mental exercise.
That absolutely could happen, Cabbage. However, there's one thing that those folks back then didn't have nowadays: Twitter and the blockchain.
Yeah, but North Koreans
Cabbage,
don't have Twitter or anything. Once they're inside the kingdom, they ain't going to have no fucking Twitter. Their mobile phone will be taken off.
Wait. If they can't have Twitter in Asgardia, then I don't think a lot of folks will be joining.
It'll be a private Twitter just for the Asgardians.
Yeah, just like
Korea.
North Korea. North Korea has their own fucking internet.
There you go.
Literally.
Well, just a minute, guys. 40 ounce, welcome back on the show,
40.
buddy. Dude, have you checked out any of this Asgardia fucking nonsense? Or are you just jumping in and you don't even know what's going on?
That was me.
40?
Might be having a mic issue.
You passed out.
No, I got you. So Wall 40 is becoming an Asgardian. Hey, 40.
Here we go.
There we go.
There
Do you have you looked at any of the links we shared about Asgardia, buddy?
No, but I did fall asleep. But no, I know what Asgardia is actually. That's that they want to set up like this space
kingdom.
It's its own independent nation, and it circles around Earth's orbit or something. Well, I've heard of it in the past. Yeah.
Stop.
What?
If you actually, she's talking
Stop what?
No, I was talking to my cat.
sorry.
But does this remind? Okay, has anyone seen Starship Troopers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know the part where the fucking Mormons go on that fucking planet because it's Cthulhu or whatever the fuck it's Kolok or whatever, and they all get decimated. That's what this is.
Yeah, it could well turn into that. I mean, it will be cult based.
Wait a minute,
like the loonies who are willing to go to Mars knowing they can't come back. There are plenty of fucking cretins in the world.
Well, wait a minute.
It's a good way of thinning the crop.
Let me play devil's advocate. They're looking for people in the STEM fields. They're looking for people that can actually build rockets and shit and actually help, survive and do a colony on the moon. If the United States government is not going to do a colony over there, and we think we're just going to jump off to Mars and we're probably going to die too, why not let these guys go to the moon? Why not let advancement happen how it's supposed to through pure fucking adventuring?
But the moon is
exploration.
But the moon is ours.
You stuck a flag on it.
Yeah, the moon is America's.
We don't get the whole moon. I don't think that's how this works.
Wait. How nice of a flag did we plant?
Well, actually,
no, seriously, don't we?
The first thing that landed on the moon was actually Russian. They dropped a probe on it before America got there. So technically, it's Russian.
We didn't let that go, and we've spent trillions of dollars since.
Wait, so if it's Russia, if the moon is Russia's, I say let Asgardia at it. Like, go for it, guys.
It comes down to colonization and being able to defend your borders. That's how Sealand was recognized.
Did you read Article 6, Section 1 yet?
This shit is gay.
No.
Yeah.
No, we haven't. Oh, this is the topic for today, Wolfshot. Get over it. It's a space kingdom.
Yeah.
God damn it. I want to talk about this.
This is some fucking faggots D&D induced bullshit.
You're welcome. But here's the thing, Wolfshot. If they are recognized by the UN, like, this is a real thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
But
applications are in.
Who listens to the UN? I mean,
well,
if they give them the permission, that technically opens up the moon for colonization. If they start to make a move, don't you think like the States and Russia will start to make a move too, and we'll start to see like a new space race?
Well, yeah, no, we're just going to end up with a fucking, like I said, there's going to be another, it's going to be a new war. It's going to be that's exactly what happens.
If we're just going to
that's why we have the Space Force. Holy shit.
But that's why of course it's going to end up that way with those kind of policies, because there'll be conflicting policies.
Cabbage, here's the thing. No, if you actually want to have an argument to potentially impeach President Trump, would you not say that what if President Trump colluded with Asgardia?
Oh, fuck off. God damn
it. Because somebody did bring up earlier.
Article 6, Section 1.
You are desperate for that, aren't you? Can we move on to Article 6, Section 1?
God damn it. I'm not there yet, man.
No, we've got to go through them.
I don't care.
One by one.
It's all right. And in the meantime, she's bringing it up.
You don't want to know Asgardia's supreme values? I mean, those sound really good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It sounds like fucking North Korea.
It does.
we gotta see their supreme values, guys. We have to.
Yep.
All right.
Sing them to us.
So the terms Space Kingdom of Asgardia and Asgardia, they're synonymous. Okay. That's good to know. Thank you. Asgardia is the first independent, free, unitary, and social space nation. Fuck you, Cabby. Fuck you. Okay, here's Article 6, Section 1. Anyone over the age of 18 who agrees to the Asgardia's Declaration in Unity and Constitution are continuous and consciously submits his or her digital personal data to Asgardia's space database may become Asgardian citizens.
Dude, that's fucking
like I said.
Troopers, man.
But no. Hold on. Consider this. At that point, you ain't hiding nothing. So if everybody knows if everybody knows what everyone else is doing, wouldn't that promote like better behavior?
No.
Oh, please. Yeah, better behavior. What? It's like in North Korea, where just everyone's terrified of their own fucking shadow. Yeah, great idea.
But are we just
real social cohesion?
Listen, North Korea, dude.
Seriously, you're a fucking commie. Fuck off.
Do you realize how terrified people are in North Korea?
I have no idea. I'm not there. I couldn't.
Dude, the videos are like, I went on a Vice trip one night and watched when they get into North Korea. Americans used to be able to go to North Korea until Trump, and that's on us. They didn't ban us, but everyone else can go, like Britain and Australia, shit like that. So these Australian guys fucking stayed in North Korea, and they only saw what they wanted you to see.
Yep. Same as it used to be like that in China. They've loosened up a little bit, but they still track everybody, and all the hotel rooms and things are bugged.
We have been asking this question since we opened the show. It is answered in Article 6, Section 2.
No, we got Section 1. No, don't jump to 6.
I just read Section 1, Dick.
Oh, right. Okay. Fair enough.
Okay, Section 2. The space citizenship of Asgardia is a special type of citizenship. It does not constitute dual or second citizenship for the purpose of Earth state citizenship. A citizen of an Earth state becoming a space citizen does not confer multiple citizenship status, unless otherwise stipulated by an international treaty to which Asgardia is a party. They do not revoke your citizenship. You are still an American citizen or British if you signed up for this crazy shit just to see what it was about, like I did.
Unless things change.
Yeah.
So do they have dual citizenship or don't they?
No, I don't think that's what it says. I think it says the opposite to that. It's saying that, you know, unless if you become an Asgardian, then technically you are going to be an Asgardian, unless they have an agreement with another country to permit dual citizenship.
Yeah, see, Japan doesn't do dual citizenship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on to the next part. Go on to section 3.
Okay, a child gains space citizenship of Asgardia at birth if one or both parents is/are space citizens of Asgardia. A child born before the foundation of Asgardia may become a citizen on the request of his or her parents, who are citizens of Asgardia. Number 4.
Still like reproducing in space.
Oh my god, holy shit. It's Starship Troopers because it's that scene in the shower where she has to become a citizen to have a baby.
Mm-hmm.
You don't remember that?
Yep, exactly.
She needed to become a citizen to have a baby. Yeah. Holy fuck, that's what this shit is.
The North Korean version of Starship Troopers.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm pretty high right now.
So. No. But I'm also going to bring up. Hey, I feel you, Wolfie. But
yeah.
the thing with that is
it's worse with section 4.
Well, I see they're very inclusive and they're giving folks opportunities, but they must agree to certain terms and conditions.
There's only so liberal you can be, memes, before you just become obnoxious.
Give it 20 years, man. See what happens.
Meh. Well, I'm guessing somewhere along the line you'll get stabbed in a bar.
Uh-huh. That's where section 4 comes in.
Oh.
Well, no, section 4 is actually not as bad if I'm reading it correctly. Space citizenship may be terminated by the Asgardian citizen waiving citizenship or by Asgardia revoking it. Space citizenship can also be temporarily suspended by Asgardia. So if it does come into a conflict, you just go, I'm no longer a space citizen.
Wait, can we get banned?
Yes.
Yeah, you can get banned. You can be a bad Asgardian.
Exactly. So and then the thing is, but you've given up your citizenship. So then, but then you've got nowhere to go. No, you haven't.
No, Section 2 says otherwise. Section 2 says it does not confer multiple citizenship status unless otherwise by a but also before that is a special type of citizenship. It does not constitute for the purposes of Earth state citizenship, which means you're still a citizen of whatever country you're from.
But
you just also are a space citizen.
But the way that's written, MD, if you look at it, it says it does not grant a secondary citizenship, so that's their out for the legal status currently of folks there. But if they actually become a thing with the UN, when they need like a treaty with like the world, would that automatically change things?
Well, your country also has to exist before you can have any treaties.
Well, you need to be recognized, by the by the UN for. I mean, that's like that guy who's lives on the platform off the south coast of England. I mean, he's declared, but the reason he could do that, he was invaded, and then he ended up. The German government got in touch with him, and because an official of the German government had actually recognized his status, that gave him the right to then apply for independence. And once you got recognition, you then have additional rights within the international community.
I thought the British Navy, they had went out there and then they fired a few shots at the British Navy, and the British Navy's like, we don't really care that much, and they just left.
Well, it's like they did with Radio Caroline back in the 60s, pirate radio and stuff. But of course, that's a fixed thing. You couldn't float away. But because this is the thing, once you start, that this kind of crap can get out of hand very quickly. I mean, just one bit of recognition. If the UN, even you know, accepts their application or something, I'm sure that will start all kinds of cogs in motion.
Yeah, and I can understand why they're not going to have any kind of proper citizenship as of now. I mean, they don't have any formal land claims, you know, either here or on the moon or whatever fucking planet they want to go to, Venus for all I fucking care. But so there's no land for any Asgardian to actually go and settle on.
Unless they start launching themselves like lemmings at the moon, which would be kind of fun to watch.
No, but there's a plan, right? Like, they have like a path forward. So like, as certain things happen, that's the thing. Even if they do it on a small scale, dude, it's space, man. It's the final frontier, other than like the bottoms of our oceans and shit. But
yes, exactly. Which is why you don't want it formed around this fucking constitution, because it's hideous.
Well, that's why I believe in like the free market principles, that folks will also compete as well. And yeah, I think it'll put us in a space race, and I think that might be a good thing.
Well, excellent. Good for you. You're mad, but whatever.
Well, everybody knows that.
All right. Okay, so grounds for revoking or suspension of space citizenship, as well as restrictions on the acceptance of new citizens, will be set by Asgardia's laws. Fair enough. Article 7, location of citizens. Asgardian citizens possess the right of free movement in Asgardian localities, and the right to choose their location in the Earth states in line with their respective legal, organizational, and physical capabilities. 2. An Asgardian citizen's permanent residence in an Earth state shall not deprive or diminish his or her rights or freedoms, suspend or terminate his or her space citizenship, and annul his or her obligations towards Asgardia. Interesting. I think that's what Cabbage has been getting at the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like that student debt, man. You can't get rid of it.
Mm-hmm. It's like herpes. You got it forever.
Did you catch the Asgardia, man?
Asgardia. It's frightening. It's absolutely fucking frightening.
It sounds absolutely amazing. I have no idea what it will lead to, but it will lead to something.
Yeah, it seems a little authoritarian, you know, having to hand over all your digital data. I mean, I would much prefer this to be something along the lines of like Rapture from BioShock. You know, that'd be a little more comforting.
Well, I'm not familiar with BioShock's take on it.
That is Ayn Rand sucks balls.
Yeah.
Not as many balls as fucking Asgard. Jesus Christ.
No, but here's the thing.
Both are bad.
It's done voluntarily. They said, like, you consciously, basically, not that you get doxxed and all your stuff is out there. You must literally, technically, willingly submit all that stuff. But here's the thing. At that point, then it's like, all right, if you're worried about the dagger behind your back, but everyone, all of their daggers are accounted for, then I don't know, man.
No, because the whole point is... No, it isn't. It's the government idea. It's the way that it's a kingdom that you effectively. I mean, it's feudalism. All they're doing is they're promoting feudalism in space.
It seems kind of like the Wild West to me, and just your ability to sign on. And I mean, signing on could be like that. Could be the end of you, man. That's absolutely true. But like, it's exciting, man. It gives folks purpose.
And you know,
you
saying feudalism in space reminds me of 40K, so I think I might actually be okay with that.
Well, that's the thing. It's the mimetic #gamer theory.
Well, no, and check it out. Okay, Article 8, Section 1. All human and citizenship rights and freedoms shall be recognized in Asgardia. So that would include the First and Second Amendment, I would assume. So I get to take my space gun up, right?
It says human rights, right? Is that what you said? All human and citizenship.
Yeah, and citizenship rights, which means I'm an American citizen. I have the right to bear arms. I have that right. I hold on to that right.
Good luck with a gun in space.
You would have to hold on to hey.
Well, I'm going to build a fancy
terraform, man. We can terraform. We can add some air.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, citizenship rights, is that I believe that's in reference towards Asgardian citizenship, which I have
shall
to
be recognized. No, because not to cut you off, 40, and respond. But
Yeah.
it says, and citizenship rights and freedoms shall be recognized in Asgardia. If they're recognizing them, then they predated Asgardia, so they're your original citizenship rights from your country of origin. I would assume, reading this.
Well, it's a lot of assumptions.
Yeah.
And anyway, I just imagine someone going up there, you know, with an SLR, you know, or a, you know, an SA-80 and just, you know, take it like, well, it's fine. Yeah, well, I mean, we're in a little metal tin can floating around in space. Great, bring projectiles. Why not? What the fuck?
Well, what could go wrong?
It'll be a chuckle. Absolutely, it'll be fun.
Everyone would properly store their ammunition.
We got duct tape. We got duct tape. Yeah, but what are you going to use them for? The first time you shoot one,
it's a crossbow.
Exactly, that would make more sense. You see, but then again, you're going back to bloody feudalism. Then there'll be a fucking longbows.
Those moon
like Agincourt.
You have to put food on the table for your moon kiddos.
I don't know, Cabbage. You're really selling this with your Agincourt in space and your space.
Cabbage, you're actually
once more into the breach, dear friends.
No, you're contributing almost as much while you're joking and taking the piss out of it as we are.
Well, no, and I want my moon castle.
Space castle.
I'm building my moon castle.
It would be easier.
Yeah,
but wait, who's that guy?
The moat will float away, though. Your moat will float away.
That's okay. You can just get your space peasants to put it back, I'm sure.
Gather the water.
Do some bouldering. Stack them up, it'll be easier to lift.
Oh, Jesus.
Christ.
But no, let's finish that. Okay, so shall be recognized in the Space Kingdom of Asgardia. In accordance with generally recognized international law principles and norms by law, human rights and freedoms are inalienable and enjoyed by all persons from birth. All Asgardian citizens shall be equal. Equally poor, right? Is that pretty much what you're saying?
Yeah. I don't know. Your socialist space castles. Christ almighty.
Well, it does say, you know, part of it that, you know, you must be a viable and productive member of society, right? So there's not going to obviously be any, you know, any social security in the pension schemes or anything. Right?
So it's going to be kind of like in Beauty and the Beast, where it's like, all right, you're a teapot, so you be a teapot. You're a candelabra, you be a candelabra.
Yeah, it's like ants.
If
you know, you get your hat when you
are equal, does that mean that the Space King is just as equal as the person who is working?
No, everyone is equal, but some are more equal than others. That's how it works.
That sounds like a story involving some pigs and some other porcine we heard from a while ago.
Hey guys, you want to know what the Asgardian currency is called? The Solar.
Oh, that's
LAR. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's based on celestial locations as well. How the fuck does that work?
Yeah,
there's an automatic currency, so it's based on solar orbits of things.
Oh, here's the deal
because it's celestial, so that would be galaxies. And
now they hit my deal breaker. Solar shall be issued by the National Bank of Asgardia in the amount tied to the parameters of the moon, the sun, and other celestial bodies set by a special law.
Oh, they're quantifying the moon and the sun and putting value on them. That's actually
no. But also other celestial undefined bodies.
Oh, that's rather than stuff, they're like, yeah, we're going to start colonizing and utilizing these as resources, so this is an investment in it. That's actually kind of a cool sales pitch.
Oh my god!
It's bollocks, is what it is.
Yeah, to be honest, you would have had a better time selling it to me if you just said we're just going to use space rocks.
Yeah, exactly. We'll use meteorites. How many meteorites?
No, but that's what I would do to build. Like, if I was going to do a currency for a space kingdom, whatever, I would have a space republic. But it's me here. But okay, I have my space republic. I got to base my currency on something. What do I have? I have a shit ton of fucking asteroids out there with a shit ton of precious metal. And I'm going to mine the fuck out of them.
But what's the exchange rate? What's the exchange rate? I mean, does
It would be high. I think the mad coin, or whatever I would call it, would be probably, you know, more than the dollar, because I'd be basing it on all these natural resources that are way more plentiful.
It has to be based on the mass of the. So I mean, about how many asteroids to to a comet? I mean, is there an exchange rate for the comet to the? What is somebody that sets up a comet currency, to compete?
Yeah, well, and actually, now that you had actually said that, Matt, the quantifying the amount of celestial bodies and whatnot, that actually kind of makes sense now. Because, I mean, you're mining how much gold relative to all the other gold that's out there that can be freely mined by anyone else.
Has terrifying potential, 40.
Yeah, it kind of actually does, now that I think about it.
I tell you what, you guys go into the asteroid belt. I'm going out to the Kuiper belt. Way more shit out there.
have a safe, pleasant, long trip.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be rich when I get there.
No, but how is this different than like certain industrial revolutions and like the coal mine industry and stuff like that? It sounds very familiar.
Well, no, here's something funny. Here's something funny. You jump up to Article 12, right? Article 12, Section 2. Asgardia shall use space resources in accordance with international space law. But you know what they started the whole document out saying? That there is no real space law, and they're coming in to fill the void and create a space law. So they're going to make their own laws on the resources and then set the fucking parameters. But it's kind of ingenious.
But if it works like Facebook or MySpace and not failing like MySpace.
So you missed the key rights and freedoms of Asgardian citizens, didn't
you? You did. Get back to that one. That was pointed out earlier.
That is on page 9.
Well, I don't want to back up to page 9. You kidding me? I hit the fast scroll. This thing's huge.
Jesus.
It's gigantic. What are we gonna do? We're going through it line by line, guys.
Yes, that's what I thought. That's what we were doing.
It's on page 9.
We've got to hear the full extent of the lunacy. You got to hear the full extent of the lunacy, mate. You know.
All right.
Literally, lunacy. Literal sense.
This is page 9. If you guys can see it, somebody else read a little bit of it out. If we're reading the whole damn document, then I'm not going to take the helm here the whole time.
All right. So, under the Constitution of Asgardia, the Space Kingdom, translated into English, Section 3 of whatever we're reading. Person who acquires space citizenship at birth can exercise rights and shall perform all obligations on reaching full legal age at 18. Number 4, key rights and freedoms of Asgardian citizens: freedom of individual, freedom of speech, right to participate in the national affairs of Asgardia, both directly and via representatives. D, the right to elect and be elected / appointed to Asgardia's governmental bodies and participate in referenda. Section E.
Nope, let's stop there. How many people are going to be appointed? This is a kingdom we're talking about. How many appointees? Are we appointing the Supreme Court of Asgardia? Are we appointing legislators? I mean, is Parliament fucking appointed?
That could go infinitely, and hopefully they clarify within Constitution.
Is right to introduce legislative proposals.
Well, that sounds good.
Well, and
you are such a twat.
There was one thing I don't know if I'm just being nitpicky or if it's the specific wording that's bothering me, but I mean, they're talking about, I can't quite see it right now, but they're talking about fulfilling some kind of obligation upon the, here it is, yeah. Persons who can exercise right and shall perform all obligations on reaching full legal age at 18. So you already have some predetermined destiny, it sounds like.
Well, 40, you must remember that service guarantees citizenship.
Well, I don't remember them saying that, but they do want you to be a productive member of the Asgardian society. That's why they're looking for scientists and shit. People like to actually colonize shit. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Well, it's basically like
to
what do you call it? Conscription or something.
A right to access to Oh, hey,
The
Cryptic.
Asgardian Society.
What? Oh,
Hey, Cryptic, would you like to
Bash.
become an Asgardian? There's a button for you.
I don't know. Can I get a big hammer?
I
Right to
don't see
access
anything. Yep.
to information about the activities of governmental bodies and monitor them.
Oh, hello.
Wait, you have the right to monitor the government directly?
Right to access to information about the activities of governmental bodies and monitor them.
I like that. I like that clause. That's pretty good.
G. Right to participate in space exploration and universal access to scientific information about space.
Okay, let's stop right there. Yeah. Okay, so you have the right as an Asgardian to space exploration. Does that mean they can't turn me around from Elon Musk's fucking spaceship if he joins? If Elon Musk is like, I'm gonna join this shit because we are going to Mars, motherfucker.
And Elon Musk stepping down.
Maybe he's stepping down to join Asgardia.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Elon Musk is stepping down.
Either his company was getting hammered by some of his comments he made, or he's becoming an Asgardian.
I'll have to do some research on that. I'll find everything.
Check Elon Musk's Wikipedia. See if he has become an Asgardian.
I found an article.
Sucks.
I found an article from 4 days ago saying that he has no plans of stepping down as chairman of Tesla.
I seen something yesterday that said he was. But
no, the idea that you can actually monitor the government directly, what kind of monitoring? Are we talking about you have access to all data that the government uses? Because at a certain point,
it just says right to access to information about the activities of the governmental bodies and to monitor them.
I know, but what I'm trying to read between the lines here, because at a certain point, if this was to succeed, you would have, actual colonization. You would have maybe a war. When are they going to limit to the right of the Asgardian citizen to actually monitor the government? Is it during wartime? Is there a removal clause? Suspension of habeas corpus, so to say. It's really interesting.
Right to personal safety is H, and safety of home, Asgardia localities, and I, right to citizens' self-governance. J, right to ownership and inheritance. And lastly, for part 4, is right to organize citizen groups on the basis of Asgardia's laws.
Which they haven't really formed very many laws as of yet. And Vash, you just joined, man. Welcome. And yeah, Asgardia is a real thing. It's pretty fucking weird, and that's tonight's topic. We're going through their nifty little constitution here, and Cabbage is ripping it apart. 40 seems skeptical.
Well, what does Cabbage have on it?
On what?
Like what's some of the things that you don't see that's quite right about it?
Oh, I mean, I find it'd be easier just to say anything that was right about it.
It's basically North Korea, sugar.
Yeah, there's nothing good in terms of the Constitution. It was zero good. But in terms of, I mean, conceptually going off to Mars and things like that, or going off into space, fine. People want to, if they want to live that way, it's up to them. But
yeah, this does very much seem like a mix between a democratic republic and with hints of feudalism.
It's pure feudalism, mate. It's pure feudalism with a smattering of perception of democracy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, no, and check this out. Section 5. If any rights of an Asgardian is infringed by any natural or judicial person, including by the Asgardian governmental body, he or she shall have the right to seek legal protection and or remedy in the court. But if you're being infringed upon by the King of Asgardia, and the King of Asgardia has appointed the court, what good is that really?
Yeah.
Well, exactly. It's like the Queen. I mean, the Queen can't be summoned before the court because it's Her Majesty's courts. It's Her Majesty's Crown Courts, right? The Queen can't be called into her own courts.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most hideous, dangerous bullshit I've ever heard in my life. I mean, some crazy Austrian billionaire comes up with this idea. Why is it always Austrians, though? What the fuck is it with the Austrians?
Cabby, I love you.
Thank you, my dear. I love you too. Seriously, though, I think it's a fair question to ask. I think Austrians need to be, you know.
Well, no,
Asgardian citizens may only be extradited to other states on the basis of Asgardia's laws.
that's really interesting. If you reside within the United States and you're caught shoplifting, can you be like, bitch, I'm an Asgardian, and you just walk away?
Yeah, I've got. Yeah, I mean,
my hammer.
that's an interesting one because then, if it does get recognized by the UN, then you would be looking at things like, you know, political. What do they call it? You know, not asylum, but you know, political,
like refugee status or something.
No.
Diplomatic immunity.
Immunity, yeah, diplomatic immunity.
Oh,
You
yeah.
say, fuck you, diplomatic immunity.
Yeah, well, and it's ironic because unless we develop warp engines tomorrow, what's the point of extraditing someone? It's gonna take if you're out in the Kuiper Belt like Cabbage, you know, it's gonna take many years to get someone back to Earth.
Yeah,
That's
you're getting me,
ridiculous.
bitches.
Oh my
Exactly.
no, dude, the TV potential here. I wish Memes was still with us because seriously, Dog the Bounty Hunter in space. Come on.
I'm telling you, mate, this just sounds like some kind of weird subplot of ice pirates.
All I gotta say about that is see you, Space Cowboy.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Asgardian citizens possess the right of peaceful and unarmed assembly without prior approval in accordance with Asgardia's laws.
I don't get my gun.
Told you. I told you.
Oh.
Back to the longbow, mate. Get those skills in.
The enumeration of specific citizen rights and freedoms in this article shall not be interpreted as negating or limiting other citizenship rights and freedoms stipulated by other articles of Asgardia's constitution, laws, and generally recognized human rights and freedoms.
Which are unspecified.
Well, you know, Matt, I suppose one of the good things is that you don't need a permit to protest anywhere, as long as you don't have your AR-15 with your 16, you know, grenade launcher attachments.
But no, I'm an Asgardian, bitch. I was getting a laser gun. God damn it!
No,
They'll just deny you the right to a helmet, a space helmet, and then just push you out of an airlock.
Oh God.
It's okay though. The only form of bearing arms will be your space swords. That's it.
Number 9
crossbows.
before Article 9. Citizen rights and freedoms may only be restricted by Asgardians' laws to the extent authorized by Asgardia's constitution, and that is required to protect Asgardia's national interest, ensure Asgardia's safety, security, and the performance of its mission and supreme values.
See, but it's trying to be. Sorry. Finish that. Sorry.
And protect the rights and legal interests of other Asgardian citizens.
But that's what they're trying to be like this global, you know, like panacea. But then they say that they're now a nation. They can't seem to decide what the fuck they are. This is the most schizophrenic nation that's ever been created.
Well, they're doing it badly.
Thank you.
It's like Professor Peters says: if you're going to do something, do it badly, and it will get better over time.
Well, no Memes. You can only be extradited from Asgardia if Asgardia has a treaty with the state or whatever that you're being extradited into. So I think that's a free pass for our Asgardian citizens to rob banks and everything else. That's great.
No, it's
no,
not.
no. Don't forget the previous article.
No,
don't forget the previous article. It says that you can be banned from Asgardia. You can just be thrown out of your nationality. Can be revoked at any time.
Yeah,
based on the whims and will.
They can ban you like Jack
fair
might
enough.
be able to.
Fair enough, but memes. TV show idea. First Asgardian national TV show, right?
Okay.
Dog the bounty hunter in space.
I don't know if she's being serious or if she's just being a po. But B just said Asgardia is peaceful.
Yeah, right. Yeah, look, this is basically like an extension of, and I said this last night. This is like the Venus Project and the Zeitgeist Project gone on, fucking on a, on a mezcal trip.
Hold on. Wait a second. So what you're saying is we need more mad billionaires. So what if everybody just
that's what I'm saying, is it?
Adding Mr. Elon Musk with Asgardia things.
Yeah.
And he made a comment.
I don't think that's what I was saying, but
no, that's not what you were saying at all, but I'm entertaining the idea of what would happen.
So don't say I'm saying it then, you dick.
Well, no, and Article 9 is obligation of citizens. This should be interesting.
Yeah, here we go. This is what I wanted to know.
Yeah. 1. Asgardian citizens have inalienable and indispensable obligations. Asgardian citizens' obligations shall arise from the moment they become citizens of Asgardia. I'm going to switch the page here.
This is exactly how, like, Australia and, colonies got formed.
Yeah, hey, I want to visit Australia.
But, okay,
you wouldn't have done back in the 1700s. It wouldn't have been very nice at all.
Well, I want to go in 2018.
But Asgardian citizens shall respect and not violate the rights, freedoms, and legal interests of other people. There went my bank robbing idea. Fuck. Asgardia ruins everything.
See? That's Korea, mate. They can't have freedoms.
But you have freedom of speech.
Well, only unless otherwise told by the king, and how do you know what your free speech rights are? It's still going to be constrained.
Speech.
Do anything more than.
Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good night. That's it. That's going to be their entire language.
No. This is really weird, and I think it is the Austrian influence here because once again. All persons within Asgardian territory shall comply with Asgardia's constitution and laws. You've repeated that 4 times. But anyway, and regulations effective on Asgardia territory and respect Asgardia's supreme values. Once again, that weird supreme values term. It keeps
one with freedom of speech.
Well, it depends on how you utilize the term supreme, because supreme usually applies to
they have a category.
Like the royal. Well, it would be either the Pope or the King, or so the supreme is the anointed one.
Why do I keep hearing Animal Farm?
Yeah, it does seem a little bit like it, doesn't it? Yeah, well, that's fine. Send a bunch of fucking sheep up there and see how it turns out.
No, Dolly came to us from here.
Yeah, send a bunch of dollies up. I'm just interested in the first child that gets born in Asgardia. It's going to be so fucking... It's going to be so mutated.
Okay. All persons within Asgardian territory shall comply with Asgardia's constitution and laws and regulations effective on Asgardia territory and respect Asgardia's supreme values. Asgardian citizens shall apply with Asgardia's constitution and laws, respect and implement its supreme values, irrespective of their location, unless this results in a violation of the law of the state in which they are located. Why would it if they're for freedom and everybody to come together? That's a little weird.
Yeah, so that means that even if you were in America and America permitted something, if you were to violate Asgardian laws, then they could actually hold you accountable for violating their laws, as opposed to actually the fact that you would, like, if I went to the States, I can go and shoot a gun, right? Even though I'm from Britain and it's legal to do so. You know, go and fire a machine gun or something.
My issue is with the word implement, because it says Asgardian citizens shall comply with Asgardia's constitution and laws, respect and implement its supreme values, irrespective of their locations, unless this results in a violation of the law in the state in which they are located.
But that's what I mean, because
like
that's effectively saying that if I went to America, that as an Asgardian, you know, I mean, say, you know, as a British person, for example, I'm not allowed to fire automatic weapons because I don't have the right certification. I'm not a gunsmith or whatever. So therefore, I wouldn't be allowed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I could do it as a British citizen. I can go over there and I can, you know, do a manic minute, whatever. You know, no problem, because I'm actually only meant to be, you know, I'm only accountable to the laws of the country I'm in.
No, I got you. But like, if you go back to the supreme values, it says implement its supreme values, irrespective of their location and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like just the word implement itself means like, isn't that a compulsion to do something?
Yeah, it is. It's a compulsion that you will not violate Asgardian laws, even if it's legal within the country that you're in. So you're effectively tied to the Asgardian, whatever they are.
Whatever the supreme values. And again, like, they might be good, but like, aren't you telling somebody to do something? Like, that wasn't that Professor Peterson's whole thing with like the Article 13 or whatever it was in the Canadian Parliament. Like, it was a compulsion of speech. It wasn't saying that you can't say these things or you shouldn't. It's saying literally by law, you are compelled to say this.
Holy shit, have we managed to actually find something that memes realizes that this is maybe not a good idea?
No, and this is getting worse. This is descending into darkness here. Asgardian citizens shall pay voluntarily established taxes and levies in accordance with Asgardia's laws. Asgardian citizens possess the right and obligation to participate in elections and referenda. Systematic derogation of this duty may lead to legal consequences in accordance with Asgardia's laws. You are compelled.
Everybody's got to vote.
You're compelled
to vote. Well, that happens in Australia though, and there are fines. I think you can get fined up to $1,500 in Australia for failing to vote.
I used to play WoW with a bunch of Aussies. They're pretty cool folks.
They are very cool, and most of them they ignore it. They don't give a shit. It's like, fine me then. I just won't pay that either. Aussies are pretty rebellious.
They also say it may lead to. It's one of those things where it's like, are they going to throw you in jail for not voting? Probably not. But they're like, you're supposed to vote.
No. The thing is, the reason the reason they can get away with it, but the reason they can get away with it in Australia is because it's a fucking big place, and you have to get a plane to go and pick up the guy for not voting. Now, if you're in Asgardia, the chances are you're about 10 feet away from the person who failed to vote. So then it's pretty, easy to put your ass in.
Everyone submits their data, so there'd probably be a little check saying, I voted.
There you go.
So you get like a purple finger checker mark being like, I voted.
Oh, no, you'll be tagged. You'll be RFID tagged, without a doubt.
I thought they just used fingerprints.
No, RFID, no.
Okay, so...
implant.
No, and it continues, you guys. 7. Asgardian citizens shall preserve nature and the environment in Asgardia's localities.
Good luck with that. How many fucking trees are you going to find on the bloody moon?
Hey, so
knew it would be green.
Yeah, I was about to say, Mad Dodge, looks like you can't mine for your gold anymore. Sorry, bud.
No. Here's the thing. What does that mean? How is that interpreted? Look at the interpretations of the Second Amendment. There are a variety of them among many different people. What if that simply means you're growing a plant for your own personal use?
Yeah, and what if your plant dies? Well, looks like you're going to the slammer, buddy.
I'll get a Venus flytrap and get rid of the space flies.
Yeah, but if your plant dies, then you've damaged Asgardia's integrity, so you're in trouble, buddy.
Well, no, and this is getting worse. 9 and 10 are pretty bad. Okay. Asgardian citizens shall make a contribution to the creation of Asgardia's resources to ensure the common good that is commensurate with the ability to do so, in line with the supreme values of Asgardia.
Oh my god!
And I missed
it. Wow, it's guild farming.
This is making me picture, like, there's a moment in Dragon Ball Z Abridged with Jay where he's like, Yeah, I'm from Space Australia. What? Space Australia? Yeah, it's like Australia, but in space. Be careful. Space dingo will eat your space, baby.
Yeah, he's a space drop bear.
Oh, that's a great meme.
You're gonna have to tweet that at Elon.
Space drop bear. That's what you need.
A space drop bear. That would be fucking horrifying. Then it wouldn't even be a drop bear. It would just be something just coming out and fucking mauling your face.
Yeah, it would have to be a jetpack bear or something.
Yeah, just a bunch of koala bears, just a jetpack.
Koala bears with jetpacks.
You guys, 9 caught my eye so much I skipped 8. So 8 is protecting Asgardia's national interests and security, and performing its mission and supreme values are obligations of every Asgardian citizen. Okay.
See, this is what I'm saying, and it's like this one and the previous one you mentioned. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is exactly how things like, like Australia and the colonies, when all the colonies, whether it was French or Portuguese or, Dutch, British, they were all based on the idea that, everyone is effectively enslaved. You were obliged, like the, you had to work on, work debt that they had, not the slaves that went over that were, the black slaves, but most of the people who were sent, to Australia or America, you paid off your, you had to work for so long to pay off your debt, but most people never worked off their debt because they were paid such a pittance.
I know, I know what indentured servitude is.
That's it. Yeah. So it's that kind of. This is like a road to serfdom for space.
Yeah, it's really odd. 10, failure to perform citizenship obligations or failure to perform them properly. What? May lead to permanent revocation of Asgardian citizenship, suspension of Asgardian citizenship, fines, and restrictions on and/or permanent revocation of access to Asgardia's electronic resources in accordance with Asgardia's laws. The death penalty.
See, no more Twitter for you, buddy. You're done.
Death penalty.
No more Twitter. No Facebook.
The death penalty is prohibited in Asgardia. The creation of prisons is prohibited in Asgardia. No space prison. You don't get a space prison. I'm guessing they just shove you out the airlock then.
Exactly.
Wait, no death penalty. No death penalty. So I don't know what.
Yeah, but it's fine. Yeah, but they don't kill you. They just launch you towards the sun, and the sun does it for them.
How would they manage crime, 40, if there is no prisons and no death penalty?
Feel bad. That would hurt their feelings.
But if everybody knows everything about everybody, then what are you hiding?
What do you mean? Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. It sounded good, but it makes no sense.
But if you personally submit all your electronic resource data willingly or consciously, as they say, like you are voluntarily like doxing yourself universally, right?
Well, not universally, because that's the whole point. It doesn't say that everyone has access to it. It just says you will provide your data. It doesn't say everyone has access to it.
You can at least check out what the government's doing, right?
Everybody has access to it. It says it on the first page.
That everyone has the equal access to everybody else's data.
Yes.
You see, that's even scarier. That makes it even worse.
Hey, the closer you are to danger, the further you are from harm.
Oh, stop with your fucking little platitudes.
Well, Lord of the Rings was a good show. This, this
right. It only applies to hobbits.
This reminds me of yet another. All right, so everybody like South Park, whenever they were doing the whole the trolling episodes, where it was like people that were trolls on the internet, and Stan's dad was like one of the main ones, and he did it for the lulz. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, everybody will have access to whatever anybody says on the internet, and everybody lost their goddamn mind. Yeah, it sounds like something like that would happen.
It just reminds. It's like the Dark Star mixed with Red Dwarf, but communist.
Well, here's what you get.
Feudal
as a
communism.
citizen. Here's what you get as a citizen. All right, Article 10, Section 1. The government shall guarantee the rights and freedoms of Asgardian citizens by exercising its powers and using available resources. Section 2. The government is responsible for implementing and protection of the citizens' rights and freedoms. How are they exactly going to do that when people have signed up from all over the world, including America and everywhere else?
Well, they need a space defense league.
Back to that again.
No, they did mention from protecting the Earth from hazards. So they're there to protect us from the big rocks.
No, I don't think they specified. Because no, don't forget they'll be mining those. They're their resources.
It's protection, cabbage.
Protection by any other means.
By any means necessary.
Oh, Christ.
Well, no, in 3, the rights and freedoms of Asgardian citizens are guaranteed using Asgardia's governmental property, which serves as the material foundation for the exercise of its powers and performance of its obligations. What the fuck does that even mean? Anybody?
It means basically all your possessions, all your possessions are ours, and you just got pwned.
I love how you put that.
Well, I'm going to stop presenting for a little bit. Let's discuss what we've gone over so far, and I'm going to check out the chat. I haven't checked it for about 15 minutes, so I'm going to look over there.
Right now, oh yeah, I told you that the layout was garbage, but you didn't even try and fucking message me, you asshole.
Wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was telling Madlib that because he likes to frequently look at my streams, and I said, you know what, I'm going to look at his, and then I decided to type in the chat that his layout was garbage because he constantly says that I'm playing League being garbage.
Well, OBS is cool.
Yeah, I wish I had OBS would work on my damn computer, but it fucking won't. But I'm just tired of League, man.
I know. I'm starting to get that way. I've called up my the person that's repairing my laptop, and they haven't responded, and I am starting to get irritated at that fact. Because it's like, we have the money to pay for the rest of the laptop. We have it here. So what's up? And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I think what they're wanting to do...
Go ahead.
I think what they're wanting to do is try and say, oh, well, even though you had the money and you had the chance to pay off your laptop fully, we delayed it so that way we can say, oh, well, it's not our fault that it was delayed. You got to pay the full deal rather than what we already agreed on. And
yeah, there is a particular term for that.
What term would that be?
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, well, that certainly would apply.
Which?
No, there's a particular legal term because the banks do it, and you know where they switch around the payments.
Forbearance.
So they don't clear the payments in the order that they came in. They clear them so that they end up putting you into like over your overdraft, and then they can hit you with a charge, an administration charge.
I think there was legislation a few years back in the States to kind of like prevent some of those practices. I think of Senator Warren was part of it.
But I'm saying, but it's the same sort of idea, it's the same sort of kind of practice. And we did the same thing over here because it was becoming so prevalent. The banks were really taking the piss out of people, and so they'd literally throw you maybe, I had it one time. They threw me, what was it? I think it was like something ridiculous, like 25% over my overdraft limit. So I ended up having to pay £25 because I exceeded my overdraft limit for that month. Are you shitting me? This is,
Yeah.
But if they'd have cleared them in the right order, then that wouldn't have happened because the other one would have been cleared the day after. And then everything would have been balanced out. But they didn't. They knew which order to clear them in.
Yeah, they've done that shit with me a few times. That's why I don't even try and go with banking. Most people are like I've had one person. So do you have a bank account? And I was like, yeah, kinda. What do you mean by kinda? I have a PayPal.
Yeah, but that's got to be paid into something, hasn't it? There's no such thing as a PayPal debit card or a PayPal credit card.
They do loans.
Yeah, but I mean, how do you get your money out of PayPal unless you have a business account? Unless you have an actual bank account.
They do actually have a credit card.
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah.
No, I've not seen one over here. I've never seen them advertise it.
Yeah, I mean, they don't make it like real, like that's not their main deal that they make it well known. But yeah, they do.
We had this discussion before, Cabby. It kind
If what?
I could.
In that regard.
We couldn't hear you.
Yeah. If what?
Oh no, what I said. No, what I said is we had this discussion before, and it kind of sounded like PayPal may have been a banking entity because we were talking about somebody getting like banned from PayPal, and at that point, upon further investigation, they basically at one point say that they are not an actual banking institution, at least at the moment.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why I'm saying I don't understand how you can just have a PayPal. I mean, it's fine if people take PayPal, but I didn't think that you could actually extract money anywhere unless it was through somewhere that took PayPal.
Yeah, but I do not trust banks.
Oh, I have a bank account, but I only have a
Cabby
debit card.
MC says be quiet.
Why? No, fuck you then. Absolutely not. I'll just piss you off by saying more.
Shut your fucking mouth, you
shut
cabbage.
your hole. I've got a debit card, but the only thing I ever do with it is I just withdraw the money I need for the following week. So I pay everything in cash. I mean, the only times that it's only if I need to go into, onto eBay or wherever and do an electronic one that I even use the card.
So you're the Riddler. You're constantly carrying around green and asking questions.
That's right. Yes. Yes, of course. That is me.
I wouldn't want the Riddler. I would not want Cabbage as the Riddler. That would nothing would ever fucking get done.
Dude, I have episode 1 of the Telltale Batman game. I forgot how fun that game was.
I was thinking about doing a Let's Play of it, to be honest.
I only have episode 1, or I was going to do it. I thought about recording it and just posting it to my Redeye Live, I think, is now my gaming channel. I'm going to change the name of it to something, I don't know, Mad Dodge Gaming or some shit. We'll figure it out, but I think
we were going to talk about what we'd already gone over.
That's true. Yes, indeed.
No, we can talk more about Asgardia. All right.
Yeah, and nothing about fucking rounders, please.
Oh, no. Let's take a current survey. So, how many Asgardians do we have here at the moment?
Not a one.
There we go. There was a tumbleweed.
Well, no, I signed up just to see what it was about, see if I can get access to something.
That's
else.
One.
But, yeah.
Ready? Do we have 2?
He's not signed out. Oh, you did.
We have 2 Asgardians.
I had to be able to read the Constitution. Means you've been able to read the Constitution, so you must have signed up.
No, I got it from a link from the guy, the Truth Media thing that sent it. That did the initial video that I sent, and that had a link to a document that had already been pulled down. You don't have to sign up to read the bloody thing. You fools!
Whenever it becomes, whenever there's a thing like Starship Troopers, that's whenever I'll join.
Well, we're gonna kill the boss.
Use my real name.
Just put Blur Song 2 on repeat for the rest of your life.
I didn't use my real name.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's still going to be an email address that's tied to your IP address that then can be data mined to
have to wait for the trigger
you've ever clicked on.
When the specified treaties go into effect, that's the trigger, dude.
Wait.
Remember, remember, all your data is going to go up there. You're submitting to their database, right? You just admitted. You just did a terms of service.
You have to do it consciously.
Wait, are we signing up to go into this fucking loony bin now?
No, not if you've
Damn
got an
right.
ounce of sense. No. Not if you
We
have an
are,
ounce
we
of
are
sense.
signing up to do this. It's gonna be like Mad Lib in space.
Oh,
All right,
dude.
Here's the plan. We sign up, and then we have an internal revolution, fight a civil war, and we split off to become Ayn Ranistan.
Already a step ahead of you, buddy. Already a step ahead.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. I'm just going to go and find my little my asteroid in the Kuiper Belt, and I'm setting up a greater England.
Don't put your little cabbage patch in space.
I can just picture a giant like he actually like gets the asteroid and everything, but he molds it to make it look like a giant cabbage with that fucking baby head.
That
Like,
will be
it-
capital. But
like-
all the other ones around it, don't forget, they're all mine. I
Be
labeled
Mount
them.
Cashmore.
I've got a sticker.
Are those your little space colonies? Is that it?
Tiger Lily, don't boost his ego any more than what it already is.
Oh, my apologies. Shalom, MC.
Yes, everyone say shalom to MC in the chat.
Shalom,
MC.
Oh, I quit saying shalom to him a long time ago.
That fucking Jew.
Yeah.
Yeah,
An individual running for the Senate in California acknowledged him.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking naming the Jew. I was naming Seth Rogen, Gilbert Godfrey, Adam Sandler.
Gilbert Godfrey's Jewish?
Sandler did a song about that
Gilbert
10
Gottfried's
years ago.
Jewish.
Oh, damn. I love Gilbert Godfrey's reading of 50 Shades of Grey. Honestly, my favorite piece of work.
Oh my god, it's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's the only way I can tolerate that fucking book.
Yeah, I keep saying that to the Deviants whenever I'm on their stream. I'm like, guys, you gotta fucking read 50 Shades. You gotta listen to fucking Gilbert Godfrey reads 50 Shades of Grey. Try not to laugh, I swear to God.
It's just creepy. It's so weird as well. It's just this is
And
so
then
wrong.
I got her to give me an orgasm.
Oh my god, fuck!
It's perfect. Like, oh.
Oh my god.
That was a pretty good Gilbert Godfrey.
That was well. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. That could have been that could have been Bernie Sanders for all I know. That sounded very Bernie.
That is a massive hand.
Talks like this, and let me assure you that wee world is not for kids.
Dude, he's your benevolent Jewish grandfather that got arrested chaining himself to a tree, but he puts that big hand on your shoulder and you just feel like everything's going to be okay.
No.
Because you'll be starving to death in a socialist utopia. So you're not going to be
Don't
alive.
know that.
Memes.
Well, at least Bernie
if
doesn't want to
MC
send
was in
everybody
here,
to the
he'd be
moon.
yelling at you, and you know it.
But no,
But he's not. Don't say his name once more.
MC.
MC, I like trees.
Damn you, cabbage. I like trees.
Oh my fuck.
Oh my god, I'm rubbing off on MC.
Really?
Asgardia will
I
become a
don't think
thing.
you'll like that.
Oh god. I can just imagine you, but like far more aggressive. I like trees!
I like here. Listen here. I fucking love trees. Okay.
I think everybody likes trees because you kind of need them to live.
well,
Oh,
speaking of trees,
and they give shade.
Speaking of trees, and I don't know about Asgard.
I don't know,
I'll
actually.
be
No,
probably getting out of that website soon because it is a bunch of fucking nutters, as Cabbage would say. But you
like
brought up
trees.
trees.
Just
You
not
brought up-
parking your cars underneath them. I mean,
Well,
you know, the sap that goes on them. Do you know how much
Yeah.
damage that does to your paintwork?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
no.
I prefer trees that are not on fire. 40's fire, I don't know how
I
it
like trees
jumped
on
from
fire.
California. It jumped all the way from California to Cougar Reservoir, which is 5 miles from my house. The whole fucker is like 100 acres on fire. Thanks a lot.
MC, if they ask you
Thanks a
to
lot.
evacuate. Go to Asgardia.
Yes,
No.
that's it. Just declare your Asgardian status.
Better go to
No, apply as a
Take me to the Asgardian embassy.
No, you could start a GoFundMe to go to Asgardia. There's a satellite in the sky. You could go there.
What if you go up to Asgardia?
Your home is in danger. This is what it's here for.
What if you go up to Asgardia?
Morty, read what MC just wrote.
You finally get there in the space station and you see a man in a suit with a sonic screwdriver.
Burn baby bun. I like the bun bit.
Wait, hold on. We're doing Little Shop of Horrors in space?
No, I said that he had a sonic screwdriver.
Well, no, actually, my wife just told me today, though, that the fire jumped the entire reservoir and is now on the other side. So, yeah, it's not necessarily a good thing. She already discussed if it does keep spreading going to the coast. I don't want to have to abandon the house, but that might be in the future if it continues to spread. So, yeah, wildfires are no joke. 40, you were saying the other day, you had to go help your family member put out a fire, like, on their property, right?
It wasn't on their property. He technically works for the state of California. But, yeah, I had to go up there and give him a hand real quick. Let me tell you.
Firefighter?
You get those tornadoes, don't you? You know, the like fire tornadoes. They literally go, I mean, they're astonishing when you see them. They're going like, you know, hundreds of feet up in the air.
That's
spinning.
terrifying, and I remember that from Phantasy Star 2.
Well, no, that is
real
a
deal, man.
No, that is a real thing, and they have these fire tents that they'll throw up. One of my best friends was a wildland firefighter for like 5 years, but he got in a car wreck. Can't do it anymore. Anyway, the year he didn't go is the year that 6 or 7 firefighters died on a fire he was supposed to go to. And the wind changed. They used the fire shelter, and it didn't work. They either didn't seal it to the ground properly, or the fire was too intense, and it just wiped them out. Yeah, those wildfires are no fucking joke, man. The wind can change, and they can go one way, fucking 100 miles per hour, practically. I mean,
I remember seeing one that was in Australia. They had one, what was it, a couple of years ago that just went fucking crazy around Sydney. It was, you know, you see a house and it's like a 3-story house and there's a wall of flame behind it, like triple the height. It's almost like it's like a tsunami coming.
Yeah, there's the fire I went to. There were a few people that were actually stranded out there. They had to spend like the night sleeping in their fire trucks and everything. It's not going well.
I'll tell you what, though, those people are earning enough. You know, when people go on about, oh, what do we need to put, you know, these people for? You know, we don't want to pay our taxes. Now they're realizing maybe it's good to have these people available.
Actually, Cabbage, I hate to break it to you.
Oh, they're all volunteers.
No.
Oh, yeah, they're all volunteers. In your area.
Will you stop? Will you let me finish? I hate to break it to you. The people fighting the wildland firefighters are all private companies. All of them.
Well, yeah, but they're paid under insurance policy. What would they not put out your house if you didn't? If you weren't, you know, like in the old days, if you didn't have the plaque on your door, would they refuse to do? You know, to save your neighbor, but not you.
That's not what they're doing. We have a local fire department that is a volunteer one, but no, the people fighting the wildland firefight, you know, up where I am, up 5 miles away, those guys, they're all private. That's what they do every summer. Is they fucking do their pack test and they
who pays them then?
The company gets a contract through the state of Oregon.
There you go. So you're the state. So okay. So it's basically a subcontract. It's still going to taxpayers' money.
Well, it's federal land. It's federal land. Why would it not go through taxpayers' money?
Well, there you are. So it's still federally funded.
But here's the thing. It's a good thing that in Asgardia that service guarantees citizenship.
It's also a good thing there's no fires.
Well,
nobody hears you burn in space.
Speaking of the whole service guaranteeing citizenship, what about Germany doing that right now or recently?
Well, this was created in Austria, not far off.
There are German Asgardians.
Yeah, well, it's bound to be. They're only next door.
Well, I mean, what I'm saying is the head of Germany, that one woman that I can't fucking, some cunt's name I can't
Merkel.
pronounce.
Merkel.
Merkel, yeah.
Yeah.
She's deciding to do this whole, oh, you'll get citizenship for your service, and she's gotten quite a few people from different countries into her country, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is a dangerous long game. If
isn't that exactly what America did with the with Mexico, and said, well, if you're willing to come over and fight for us, if you're willing to go into the military, then you will get citizenship.
Well,
Yeah.
Wasn't that during the Iraq War or something?
higher
I
education.
seem to remember a story about it.
No, I remember Kraut told a story before that if you serve in the military or you do several years of public service, like you're guaranteed like a higher education as long as you qualify for whatever you're doing.
Huh.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're not going to be doing any, incredibly hard labor. It's not like they're going to be joining the military. They're probably most likely going to be street sweepers. That's the only thing they.
No, they were specifying a certain amount to join the German military.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
how has education got anything to do with public service? That's not public service.
Well, that's not what worries me. Now it's the fact that Germany's taking on what is essentially a bunch of fucking auxiliaries. That's an awful idea.
And Australia also has a kind of a habit of being used for mercenaries. Germany has a history of mercenary.
Yeah, they do.
Well, as long as they're not Hessians.
Yeah, so once again, if you burn all that history when you go to Asgardia, then you'll never learn these lessons, will you?
But you have freedom of speech.
Yeah, what about it? It can be taken away at any time, don't forget, at a whim.
Is it a supreme commandment or one of those powers? What falls under? Like, aren't those like the amendments, Bill of Rights, if you would?
Yeah, but also look at what it says, that they can be revoked at any time.
Well, that's why you need the Space Supreme Court to decide on these matters.
Yeah, which it doesn't recommend or it doesn't promote anyway.
No, it says the establishment of a space court.
Yeah, well, Asgardia doesn't authorize one, so you're bugging.
No, it says it. I don't know. Did you read the whole Constitution? I haven't.
I did. Yes, I did, which is why I sent it to Mad Hodge, and I was going, because when I saw that initial video, I had to go and look at it all. Because there was a link underneath the bloody video, so I didn't have to sign up to get the document. I just
read the whole Constitution
used the
and the
copy
path
that was
forward.
available. Anywho, I thought we were going to be discussing the what we've already got to. What are consternations or concerns or what we already know that memes loves it. So
I think I might.
I have concerns over implementing like their actual like supreme commandments or whatever. I need to review those because that sounds like compulsion.
Oh my God, you have to log in.
Well, there's no
sign
prison.
up. Oof.
Yeah, well, no, you don't actually. You can just get the document. There's plenty of places. Just search the thing. Just look up Asgardia Constitution on Google. You can find it. I don't know why these idiots signed in.
No, the what's it called? You gotta sign in to accept the Constitution.
See, it might have been reformed, Gavin.
No,
Tiger
I'm just
Lily
saying.
says Asgardia just feels like a trap.
Yeah.
Yeah, and an ugly trap.
But is it an honest trap?
It's the Riley Dennis of traps.
Not.
Yeah, it's one of the traps that tucks its dick and lies to you in the bar.
You consciously submit your information.
Yeah, but I mean that's like saying yes to a woman and then she has a penis, and it's just like
Exactly.
What if
Really
she's
it's Riley Dennis of traps.
No, everything is public. Everybody can check.
Yeah, but I mean, they also say you have the freedom of speech, but if it's contrary to the government's interests, well, sorry to say that you don't have that freedom anymore. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
What supersedes is freedom of speech. I haven't brought it up. Is that one of the supreme commandments?
It is, but those supreme values, those greater goods, they can be taken away from you if Asgardia has to go to war or something.
But you can promote and implement your own legislation, and that's part of one of the things voice your opinion.
Well, is there an Asgardia army? How exactly are they going to war? Or is this an Austrian army?
If it's an Austrian army, it'll probably just be a bunch of auxiliaries, I suppose.
It's like a
Taking all
really,
those
it's like a really bad, you know, background script for a Black Mirror episode or something. You know?
But yeah, I don't know. It does kind of seem like a trap. You could always right now. It's not even a real thing. You could just unfucking subscribe and leave it. I believe, but if it does get recognized and become real, that is kind of worrisome.
They'll adopt you though. They'll say, "Well, we have his data, right? Because you've already sent your data up into their data cloud."
Can you already invest in solars?
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, are they going to run that like Bitcoin? We can get in on
You don't realize, right? Don't forget, your data's already gone up to the cloud when you sign in.
Oh no, make it a
Did you check
platinum.
the terms of
Let's
service?
use an actual resource.
Did you
Platinum
check
is
the terms of
undervalued right
service?
now.
We need to first make solar freaking world raids.
Yeah, we solar freaking roadways. Yeah.
Solar moonways.
Yeah. Look what's happened to those. Yeah, well, the one they did, they actually caught on fire, didn't it? That was quite funny.
Yeah.
Roadways, they ignite themselves.
Maybe Asgardia will make the space elevator. Damn it! All right, it might be.
Can't be done, mate. Impossible.
No, if we establish our port on the moon, we'll have a moon port.
No,
like a carport, except bigger than Mitt Romney's.
Yeah, but the moon does go around the Earth, so you can't tether the moon to the Earth.
Is it bigger than Jay Leno's port, though?
Yeah. Well, Jay Leno's is pretty big.
Yeah, exactly. We should just move his port and put it on the moon. It'd work.
We could bring it up with a space elevator.
Yeah, instead of him having like a nighttime show, now that he's on the moon, he is the nighttime show.
Wait, is Jay Leno the king of the moon? Does that make him the king of Asgardia?
Fuck.
Well, no, it's great. No, another freaking atheist is in the chat. Hey, dude, you've been gone for a long time. Welcome back. He says, you're all crazy. Asgardia is going to be super awesome. I need to be the supreme being, though. They don't have a supreme being. They have a space king. Yeah, a space king.
How's it going, another freaking atheist? How you doing, man?
And it's a king, don't forget. No chicks involved, all right? Don't want no chicks getting the job.
Yeah, we can't have that.
Are we just going to have are the women going to be like second citizens or something?
Well, they're going to have to be. Anyway, if we're going back to feudalism, absolutely. You have to know that place again.
Specify it has to be a king?
Are we going
like a kingdom?
Japan feudalism? Because
we're going, yeah.
I do have the Fu Manchu for it, so
yeah.
I just got to grow it out a bit longer.
Yeah, get your samurai sword out. You'll be good to go.
Dear God.
I just don't forget your bow.
I feel like I feel like very quickly Asgardia is just going to devolve into like the Imperium of Man, and it's just going to be fucking awful.
It'd be fun to watch, though. Make a hell of a good TV show. Well, I tell you what, I'd love it if they did that thing, launch people to Mars, and but do it as like a TV show, and just watch the whole thing just fucking implode upon itself, with all the fighting and battles.
What's going to happen is they're all going to have the one idea first. And they're all going to go up there. It's going to be okay on that. They might have a little bit of like spats and stuff, but that's going to be all right. But whenever they're up there, what's going to happen is it's going to become segregated to where it's like two sides. They're going to both be on different sides of the space shuttle, and then they're going to both shoot at each other and just blow the whole damn space shuttle up. That's what I'm envisioning.
Well, yeah, but
why would it get to that point if everybody knows everything about everybody?
Article
We can only have
18,
bows and arrows.
Would you really want to know everything about everybody?
No, God no.
You don't have to, but you could.
You really want to look through my fucking porn search?
Hey,
Yeah.
I say this knowing my own self. If folks want to look through all my crazy stuff, have at it.
I mean, you know, I've already accepted the fact that I'll inevitably be doxxed, but you know, that's the reason why I don't make it that hard.
But if you can accept it, then you can move past it. You don't have to worry.
Wow.
I don't really like the fact that somebody can come up and go. I don't really like the fact that somebody can just come up and go like, "Oh, I heard that you said this 3 years ago. Fuck you."
Well, no, that's why you have to consciously submit your records.
Yeah.
It's all voluntarily. It covers one of the articles we covered.
Like you know the whole Drake and Josh type thing.
No.
Like the joke of I'll be in a relationship with you on one condition. What? I get to be the boyfriend. You see, that was a joke back then. Now it's actually a fucking like it's a thing.
What? I don't get it.
Like what I'm saying is, as time progresses and things become accepted by norms or acceptable norms, then there's different there's a different lens that everybody sees through. Like they don't look at well, that's how they thought about it at the time anymore. They just go, "Oh, they said this." So I'm wondering how we're going to evolve past that while we're in the state that we are now, but having to go to space.
You log all the microfiche in all the libraries, so we see how silly we did things back in the day, and we have context for everything else.
Well, no, and like I said, I just want a moon base. That's all. I don't care who does it. Asgardia, America, Russia, China, for all I give a fuck. I want my moon base.
Thank you, Mr. Newt Gingrich.
You're welcome.
I'm finding Article 18 very amusing.
Oh, we back to the thing again. Excellent.
No, I just continued reading after you guys went off bantering about other shit.
Yeah.
Please share.
Well, so far I'm on number 4 of Article 18. Any propaganda of superiority and or inequality of people is prohibited. Asgardia shall prohibit racist, Nazi, fascist, and other similar ideologies in their historical and new forms.
So they appreciate diversity then.
Wait, no more Pepe? Oh,
no. It says
banning our memes.
Memes, you're fucked. You're dead, man.
It said no propaganda of anyone being superior or inferior. So I assume that means no space communism either.
No. This is superseded by freedom of speech, though.
Goes on to say the government shall protect groups of citizens who find themselves in a difficult position on Asgardian territory by providing them with equal access to food, clothing, shelter, and basic material and immaterial benefits.
So it's like starting off in Minecraft.
Space communism.
They're protecting.
Career, man.
The thing is they don't specify the quality of food. They don't specify the quality of the living quarters.
Or the quantity.
Or the quantity of food. Yes, that's very important as well. So yeah, sorry if you hear my mic flipping around, but
I do like ramen.
Yeah.
Well,
that was 5 and 6. I didn't read 1, 2, 3, and 4.
The whole thing is fucking hideous. I read it all the way through, and
It's terrible.
It just gets worse. It really
Oh,
does. And
yeah.
by the way, memes, before you start saying, "Oh, it's superseded by," like, this is not like the Constitution where, you know, number one actually means number one. These are just ones, and they can be applied as appropriate.
Does number one just mean number one? Because we've had sequent or additional amendments that have gone and repealed other amendments. So you just clarifications.
Yeah, exactly. But no one of them holds more weight than any other, which is why you can, the repealing of your, the idea that you have freedom of speech, but they can repeal your rights at any time.
If there was a case
says
to go up to
later
the
on,
space
right?
court to set precedent,
Yeah, well,
and then it'd be up to the governing body to legislate.
You're a fucking mental case. You do know that, don't you?
No, I have some problems with it. I pointed out some problems. I'm entertaining it. Like, again, no, hey, I think everyone here has said that if the UN does recognize them, like Cryptic was kind of saying, like, this becomes an actual thing.
That's what I was saying. This is why we're doing this. I sense it to.
I personally wouldn't mind have a space colonization. Like I said, the whole bounty hunter thing, I just instantly thought, "See you, space cowboy," and I was like, I could fucking do that shit.
Boba Fett or Cowboy Bebop?
Cowboy Bebop.
Fair enough.
I would love to live in that type of world. That would be fucking awesome.
Yeah, and then it'll turn into ice pirates, which is exactly what the feudalism thing is, you know.
Well, I mean, one of my moments that I kind of have like a like, there's no way I could do it, but a bucket list type thing, and that's whenever it's one episode whenever he's in a spaceship, and he's having to get there's like a lock on the other spaceship so that way he can get this to get the other person to safety. And what he does is he jumps from his spaceship, he puts in like these plugs and everything else, and he jumps from his spaceship, undoes the deal, pulls out his gun and fires it, and then he goes in and that knocks him over to back to his area. I think that would be pretty badass. No, it was a regular gun.
But what?
Yeah. I know the inconsistencies of the physics. Memes, don't judge me.
He must be. He must know that it must have been a real Companic launching a very dense projectile, probably a uranium depleted concentrated shell.
You watch Naruto, and you don't
He used
bitch about the
chakra.
physics. Chakra, really? You don't bitch about the physics there.
Hey, we can't accommodate for dark matter. Where if dark matter in its reality space force becomes chakra?
No, you're blabbing now.
You say potato, I say potato.
Yeah, no, she says potato, you say blah, 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 blah.
Well, no, and let's talk about, I brought it up earlier, but really, Donald Trump announces that he's going to create the Space Force, and then this is created pretty much right after.
Yeah, it's convenient.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Who would win, the Asgardian folks or the Space Force?
Nobody, because everything just get blown up, and then nobody will be able to go into space again. There's already enough fucking wreckage out there. Do you know how much problems there are even actually getting into space anymore?
My money's on the Outlaw Star. Gene Starwin. He's gonna come in and just fucking kick in some shit.
Nah, Chewie will save us.
No, Gene Starwin he's gonna ally with Spike Spiegel then, and he's gonna take on Chewie.
I think Star-Lord will come at the last moment.
Oh shit, Star-Lord.
I am Groot.
Well, why haven't the Scientologists joined up yet?
My question is, why haven't they been funding this and doing it?
They are.
Look, see, but
it's
that's
run
my
by a
point.
billionaire.
But this is what I'm saying. The concept is not bad. It's the construction and this shit that they pumped out as like their manifesto and their constitution, which is the concerning part. The idea of going into space, I'm all for it. If people want to launch themselves in, little metal tins around the universe, fine. Let them do it. I wouldn't want to do it, but if you want to do it, good.
I thought you were going to the Kuiper Belt.
Well, I will do if it comes to it. I'm just saying.
I will do it if it comes to it.
I was working.
Hey, goodbye. I love cabbage.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, under the theory and the idea that you were placing before me, that's my solution to the problem, because you guys are all talking about the asteroid belt. I said, fuck that, Kuiper. So,
all right, Cartman, go home.
Fuck you guys. I'm going home.
Trump couldn't even get his military parade. How is he going to get a space force?
A military parade in space? Dude, think about how fast an Abram would go on the moon. It goes off a jump and it just floats through the air. Dude, that would be sick.
Well, they've already sent a bloody Tesla into space. Why not just launch an Abraham's tank at the moon?
We could get a bunch of these metalheads and have them like try and do a mosh pit, and they just all go everywhere. Just drift off randomly.
Well, that's one thing that with feudalism, you did end up with a lot of anarchy going on. So,
what happened
with the Mad Dodge as well? Hey, and who's going to build the roads on the moon, Mad Dodge?
What happened?
We don't need roads there, motherfucker.
Solar moonways.
What happened to the lead singer? Well, what happened was he jumped to test out the crowd, and he just fucking flew off into the void.
No, we're going to use magnetism and have a rail line from one colony to the other. I think that...
Monorail!
Dude, I rode on the monorail.
Are we talking about a monorail to space?
No,
That's
on the
not gonna
moon.
happen.
Not to
A
space.
monorail in space.
With everyone
Monorails
talking
in
over each other,
space.
I can't
Solar-powered
understand
monorails.
what's going on.
What I would say is, instead of a monorail in space, I would think that we should have like a subway system on the moon. That would be kind of cool.
Well, duh. How else are we going to mine it?
Well, no, they say when they ran a probe or whatever into the moon, it rang like a bell. The moon might be hollow. So I don't know if that would necessarily work.
Dude, we will get so much cheese.
We already have so much.
And it's made of Limeswold.
You know that there's some place there's some cave in America that's literally filled with cheese.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Why haven't I heard about this?
It was like they had like a mass abundance of cheese. America did, and it was like during like the it was before the concept of putting a slice of cheese on a burger.
Okay, Tiger Lily has a wonderful idea.
Yeah,
I don't know how to implement it though. Her idea is moon beer. Build a brewery on the moon. How are you going to get the hops and barley up there?
The space elevator. Dude, craft beers in space.
No, you could also have like distilleries too. Don't forget. Don't just stop at the beer.
Oh, I want some of that
moon whiskey.
Yeah, I want some of
the
that
beers would make you more buoyant.
Jesus Christ.
Moon beers in space. I love the
as
idea.
my good Catholic friend says, Jesus crust.
Wait, is the Virgin Mary on it?
No.
Yeah, that would be Mary toast. Come on.
There could be a virgin named Mary though.
In space?
Yeah. And then we could say it's the space Virgin Mary.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Have we really gotten to the point where we've taken the old fortune cookie thing and adding in bed and replacing in space?
Pretty much in space.
Oh God, what have we done?
In space.
I see what you did there.
So our good friend Zachary says, "Say no to drugs." Fuck off. We're going to the moon, bitch.
Ooh, drugs in space. Can you imagine a star exploding while on fucking bits of acid? Holy shit.
L35 is going Nova. Let's watch.
Yeah, I would turn into a fucking Rick at that point. I'd just be like, whoa, I've seen some shit, Morty. Do you see this shit? Like I'm a fucking god, Morty.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm just
No wonder
thinking.
why. No wonder why he's bored with fucking mundane life. Holy shit!
We watch different TV shows. You said Rick. I thought you were like Coral.
Imagine.
Oh god. Imagine that in space. He's just looking around in the void.
Coral.
Dude, space zombies.
Yeah.
I'm on asteroid 5479. Where are you? Carl! I told you I'm on asteroid 54. Oh, wait, I'm on the dark side. I got to go over here to the light one. Okay.
Huh. So it's a good thing that the crossbow will be the preferred weapon of defense of choice.
Oh yeah, Daryl is good to go, dude. He's
No. If he gets like a Chewbacca crossbow, because that's the other thing that I didn't like, and I'll go ahead and mention that about the new Star Wars. Chewie's fucking crossbow took down motherfuckers. All right. I mean,
Wookiees are no joke.
Yeah. That fucking crossbow would fucking, it wouldn't just, if anything, it would knock down people. Like, I think Darth Vader took one to the chest and like still got fucking knocked the fuck back. So yeah, how the fuck did Kylo, just take a knee?
Well, I'm wondering if anybody took a knee during the Asgardia national anthem at the beginning of the show. I didn't stand up, that's for sure.
Well, I mean,
you weren't around then, I know.
I wasn't around. I was asleep.
But no, zombies in space. Would that be a better movie than Jason in Space? Jason 10?
Would Dead Space be a good movie? The answer to the question is yes. It would. It'd be a fucking amazing movie. But like,
so what if an Asgardian has Ebola and it mutated, and then they went on the spaceship because all Asgardians have the right to space exploration, and then that's how the space zombie virus mutates because now it's in a different environment. They even show outside on the space station that Salmonella and E. coli, they grow more more virulent and worse and faster.
The mutation instead of it would be do you know the way?
Damn it. But no, see, then you can get space zombies. I think that's a good idea. And then, Asgardia becomes the first zombie nation in space.
Wait, if they're Asgardian citizens, they still have rights.
The right to be a fucking zombie, I guess. I don't know.
No, I think it's like in Shaun of the Dead. You're going to still take care of your buddy, even if he's a zombie, and you'll play games with him and just make sure he doesn't eat you.
No. I go with Walking Dead solution. And shoot
no, we shall not be implementing any of your solutions from The Walking Dead.
Well, I already have a baseball bat.
Is there, Sharadi, is there anything in the Constitution there specifying rights to the undead?
That's a good question.
Somehow I doubt it.
If I'm undead, I would still like my rights to eat brains.
Well, are you still contributing?
Well, I mean, that's the thing, is I would be still contributing. You see, my job after that would be population control.
Oh. Huh. Well, that's a modest proposal.
Yeah. I mean, if you get caught and you're dumb enough to get eaten by a zombie, then you're not allowed to live.
Well, that's pretty harsh. Have you seen The Walking Dead?
And then,
Zombies pop
but
out.
then the other thing about it is that creates more employment. You see, for zombies.
Zombie killers. Yeah. I mean, you need your
And the zombies. Don't forget the zombies, because that's the reason why they're going after the killers, because those are the prime zombies that they want to have on their employment.
So we started a new Hatfields and McCoys.
Nice. I'm guessing you saw the Civil War episode then.
Yeah, I listen over.
But okay, Cabbage. Now we're talking about zombies in space. Pull us back home. Let's talk a little bit more about Asgardia. Do you think the UN is crazy enough to recognize this load of space shit, for lack of a better term?
The way things are going, possibly. The world's a weird place now.
Well, no, in the chat
Zachary
in the chat brings up immigration. What is Asgardia's stance on immigration? Right now, they're letting anybody in anywhere. Sooner or later, they're gonna have to shut the door, right? You better get in now while you can, folks. Another freaking atheist? You want to be the Grand Chancellor of Asgardia? You got to join, man. You got to press that button. Become an Asgardian today, people. By the way, we are not a paid promotion from Asgardia.
I want to be the immortal president, but I want my own planet, and the rest of you can piss off. I'll find some way to become like, you know. Wouldn't a lifespan be different, or how does time work whenever it's not next to the sun?
Well, actually, astronauts have been found to have a lower bone density from their time in space, so I think the health effects would actually be quite detrimental from life on either the moon or literally on like an Asgardian space station if they were to make one.
Well, yeah, but I believe that if enough humans were exposed to it, that eventually that, as Jeff Goldblum would put it, life will find a way.
Find a way. Yeah, but the trouble is that life may find a way, but evolution takes millions upon millions of years. You know, if you dump a bunch of humans on Earth and you expect them to reproduce, you imagine what kind of fucking mutants you're going to end up with. You try and reproduce in space. Everyone's seen what the cell division's like in space. You end up with mutated plants and everything, you know? Not to mention all of the, the radiation that it's exposed to. But, no, you're going to end up with some pretty fucked up kids. It's going to be an awful lot. It'd be like bloody Sparta.
But,
but
couldn't it be like Dragon Ball Z when, like, Goku and the
No, it couldn't be like that. No, it couldn't be like that. It couldn't, it couldn't be like that, no, because that's fucking, that's cartoon.
No. Yeah.
Right? Now, we're talking reality here. What would happen if you were to actually fucking do it? And the reality, the biology of it is that you would end up with 1/6 of the gravity, even if you're on the moon. If you tried it in space, you're going to end up with a fucking blob. It's not going to be a human being. You also see that the osteoporosis that occurs when you're in space, or if you're on the moon, you've got 1/6 of the gravity, so you're going to be experiencing, spongiform, bones. So you're never coming back. You're never going back.
Okay, all right. So what you're saying is I shouldn't have tweeted.
No, it's not what I'm saying. Is stop with the fucking. Is what you're saying.
I tweeted Elon Musk wear space drop bears with a little meme I made of a drop bear getting ready to eat the Earth, and I linked him to the Asgardia space website.
God damn it.
It is currently 171st by population size in the world.
But what I'm saying, Cabbage, is yes, to that specific generation, it's going to be hell. But to the generations after that one,
no, it won't be any better because, like I
wait a
said,
minute.
evolution takes a hell of a long time to take an effect. It's not. It doesn't happen in a couple of generations. I mean, you know, human evolution happened over millions of years.
Got to start somewhere.
Cabbage, okay. You're going to have an influx of healthy people as well during this time. And going to the chat, I'm going to have to scroll up.
Yeah, but look, you can have it. Look, you can keep pumping healthy people there, but they're going to become unhealthy very quickly, and they're certainly not going to be able to return.
Yeah,
because they won't even be able to stand up under normal, you know, one.
Adapt to the environment just as we can adapt to ours.
Cairo currently has 370.
Yeah, but there is no environment on the moon. It would have to be a.
Hey,
it doesn't have an environment.
Real quick before I lose it, MC in the chat says depends on centrifugal force is applied. Then lack of bone isn't an issue. Low air pressure is more of an issue. He followed that up with oh no, he was responding to someone else in the chat. Never mind. But yeah,
but that's my point, right? Yeah, but that's centrifugal force, and that's if you're doing it, say, in a space station, you can spin it fast enough. Now, God forbid you have to look out the window because you're going to puke. You know, just seeing the stars flying by. You know, but on the moon, you got 1/6 of the gravity.
Well, yes, but what I'm saying, okay.
You know the effect that happened just with the, you know, who was that guy? What was the guy who did the longest time in space? And he came back. He could not even walk. You know,
yeah, that's
and
true.
The muscle mass reduction and everything else.
They would not be able to return to Earth. That's true. That generation would not be able to return to Earth.
So one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
It's a sacrifice.
What is that? That doesn't even mean that's bollocks.
It's a sacrifice.
You talk some shite names.
No, you want to hear some bollocks? Penoid in the chat says shake weights in space. God damn it.
Dude, you talk some absolute fucking bollocks.
They're going
with the weight shaking, or would you?
Wouldn't the Bowflex work up there though? Because it's the tension on the line.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean you can use that. Yeah, well they have them, and it allows you to at least maintain some muscle mass and things. But because of the lack of gravity, your cells, you know, they are affected by the lack of gravity. I mean that's just a scientific reality.
No, it will. It will.
Right? And you don't get over that in a couple of generations. You do not get over that in a generation or two. You have to be there for millions of years for evolution, you know, and that's, you know, natural selection. So certain people might be able to adapt more and they would reproduce and things like that. It would take millions of years.
Cabbage, are you against space porn?
I'm. What the fuck's that got to do with anything? Stop babbling, will you? No, I mean, seriously, if you're talking about this stuff in any kind of serious context, it's just not even feasible, realistically. There isn't. There's no way of doing it unless you're looking at over like a million years of people actually going out into space. You know?
If you're gonna do a colony on the moon, you would have to have some kind of false fucking atmosphere, like either a dome or a cave, somewhere that you can make airtight and bring in your own controls.
Oh no, you'd have to use a cave anyway, mate, just to protect yourself from the you know, the solar from the radiation. So you'd have to live underground. So you'd be a fucking mole to begin with.
Well,
which means
that's what the monorail space subterranean subway is.
You'd end up looking like the what are the people, you know, the underground people in the Time Machine. You know, what the hell are they called? You know, the mole people in Time Machine. That's what you'd end up looking like. You wouldn't have any.
I like mole.
I'm not sure, but another freaking atheist says, "Can Trump go there? I don't want him to return." Oh, come on! You love our Cheeto Fuhrer. Come on,
Cheeto Fuhrer. I haven't had that one before. That's good.
Well, they were called mole men, Cabby. It was nothing fancy.
No, they weren't. They had a particular. No, they weren't. They were called a very specific name in the Time Machine. H.G. Wells, the Time Machine.
Oh shit! we talking about the book or the movie?
The book, not the fucking God Almighty, please.
Hey, there was
well,
there was a couple of Time Machine movies that were all right.
The original was good, but the rest of them were all shite.
Well, that's your age show.
No,
Well,
if you want to watch something,
it's also discerning. It's just my discernment showing.
Well, you need to watch The Nullifier.
Well, real quick,
I think really.
Cabbage, I think MC helped you out. First off, he starts with solar radiation is not as much of an issue as you think, Cabbage. Don't get me wrong; it is dangerous, but don't exaggerate.
No, cosmic radiation.
And you are talking Morlocks. That's the name.
Morlocks, thank you, the Morlocks. Yeah, but I'm not just talking about solar radiation. I'm talking about cosmic radiation because there is no. It doesn't. The moon doesn't have any Van Allen belt or anything to protect itself. From any of the cosmic rays, and they're coming in from all over the place. I mean, all you need is one, pulsar to happen to, flash by, and that would be it. It'll be fried. That's why you have to be underground, though. If you're underground, you'd be safe. You certainly couldn't have a surface dwelling. That would be, unless, you'd have to have some seriously polarized glass or something.
That'd be like a penthouse.
So you're saying if we were to, if the space area were to experiment on humans, that we wouldn't be able to hyper progress the evolutionary state that we would need to adapt in space?
If you're
talking about genetically modifying humans, then you're creating a different species. It would be a different species.
Oh, we would evolve into a different species. That's what I'm trying to say.
We could be.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be an evolution. Yeah, but it wouldn't be an evolution. It would be a genetic modification. Right, that wouldn't be evolution by any stretch of the imagination.
Which is a mutation by definition, correct?
Well, yeah, but it wouldn't be. Well, it's certainly okay. All right, fair enough. If you want to split cunt hairs, it wouldn't be natural evolution. Yeah, but yes, could we create a new species that could then live on the moon? Yes, we could, but it wouldn't be us. Good, because that would be a different species, right?
But it would be us that started off there. It'd be us that built the building.
Well, yeah, but that would be the same thing as like AI. We give AI everything, and so we're still the creators of AI, and then it kills us. Well, then great. Well done, us.
Okay. Well, then how exactly would the United States make a moon base? Would they just transfer people back and forth? It'd be a shift.
They have to.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
They have to. If they wanted the people to survive, yeah.
Does that go?
Or they'd go there, and it would be a lifetime commitment.
What about Mars? Mars has somewhat of an atmosphere. Mars had almost.
They wouldn't even be able to
gravity.
By the time they got there, they wouldn't even be able to walk. They'd all be in wheelchairs. It'd be perfect, for all of these fucking trans and all of these identitarians and all the rest of it. Because everyone who arrives is going to be handicapped. It'd be great. Handicapped wheelchairs. There's a bunch of people in spacesuits in wheelchairs. Great idea.
Well, actually, I've seen these weird mech type suits that you can put on that helps you lift a bunch of weight. I'm sure they could use those. They wouldn't necessarily be handicapped, but
Oh Jesus!
Oh, NASA did. They came up with like this new, basically hand or something like that you could has like artificial tendons and stuff, and as well as gloves to help you lift like a lot more.
Yeah, you can get all that stuff. Yeah, exoskeleton.
No one transhuman, man.
You can you can do the exoskeleton thing, but the people themselves are not going to be living very long. They're going to die very, very, very quickly.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, are you? Is it the fear that there is going to be someone that evolves past humanity that you have, or is it that because you mentioned the AI, and the thing is I believe that it's if in order for humanity to evolve and our species to survive, we're obviously going to have to transcend from what our form is now, which, yes, that may be an entirely different species, but at the same time, it's still the same idea.
It's the same origin, really, not to cut you off, but also Tiger Lily in the chat has a question. Wait, Tiger Lily in the chat has a question for the panel. She's wondering what would happen with the plants and maybe livestock that are sent up there.
Yeah, well, plants don't work. Like I said, you can't reproduce. I mean, dead fetuses out of the airlock every day because they just wouldn't form properly.
Actually, now that I think about the livestock, that would be some fucking tender fucking meat. Like, that would be some really fucking tender meat.
It's not feasible. It
Grade
really
A
isn't feasible.
fucking steak.
Oh god, yeah. Like, think about it. Like, it would the muscles would probably be like completely relaxed.
We need anti-gravity before it was really feasible to do.
So another freaking atheist says, "Can we have pets up there? I need my comfort dog." No, but you could probably have a comfort dragon.
Well, no, and what I'm wondering also, is we aren't going to be able to get anti-gravity until we learn how gravity actually works, and we don't fucking know that. All right? We know gravity is there. We don't know how it's there or what's causing it.
Man. And if we can control the wave in our Major League Baseball stadiums, perhaps we can control gravity.
Well, the only way really to create a false gravity that I know of is centripetal force, like MC said, and you spin the fucker.
Well,
and also, or you could have a hyperdense object.
My other question on that though is, well, yeah, there's the hyperdense object, but like
Mjolnir.
What?
It is Asgardia.
Well, you could also have a hyperdense object in the center of a space station.
Actually, it would be for like people. It would be Project Mjolnir. We would be trying to make something that would be like really dense.
Real quick, yeah, I want to, like, what do you mean, Cabbage? Like a giant fucking ball of lead in the middle of your space station? Is that what you're saying? Like, I'm not. What do you mean? Hyperdense energy will actually create a gravity around itself?
Yeah, that's the theory.
If you have a hyperdense, like if you had a black hole, controlled black hole that would give you the density that you needed, then you would have potential gravity, like gravity. Then you have gravity.
Is
like
it
controlling a black hole? Like controlling a.
Is it me that needs the F5 or Cabbage? I'm getting static or break. Okay.
Yeah, he's crackling.
It's all right. He's applying too many resources to research Asgardia. He needs to update his protocols.
Yeah, get with the Asgardia program, man. No kidding.
He must complicitly, consciously volunteer it.
Oh, okay. Penoid, I'm sure you're going to rant about Asgardia for a minute. What do you think about the Space Kingdom?
Man, listen.
Go on.
It's nonsense.
What's nonsense?
Is it?
It's nonsensical gibberish. Like, we don't even know how gravity works. We don't have like the ability to be in space long term. We can't grow food in space. We have none of the technology needed for any of this stuff. Like,
well, yeah, but we didn't know we wanted iPhones until it was there.
Well, we already had the technology developed within the United States government for all those things to begin with, though.
Wait, no,
project like a Manhattan.
No, let me remind that we put a man on the moon. For all intensive purposes, we just put him inside of a little balloon, and then put that balloon inside of a tin can, and then shot him up into the moon with the technology that he had was basically around a calculator that everybody uses in high school now. So imagine what we could do with the technology that we have now and the knowledge of our alloys and everything else.
Yeah, no, I do believe we could create a moon base, and that's a perfect launching point for creating a vehicle that would go from outer Earth area, dock with the space station, unload, and have the space shuttle go back and forth still. And Mars, you could build a big craft on 1/6 of the gravity.
We could create like a space trade federation.
All right, how do you weld in space?
You would be doing the work on the moon, which does have someone.
You can't do an arc weld.
No. There's not enough electricity to do any. That's
you bring the electricity, and there's not enough electricity in space. Plasma, there's not enough plasma in space.
Is there any actual elements out there to actually grab a hold of and like put into a bottle so you can pressurize it at the proper?
We would have to figure that out.
Well, real quick, guys, real quick. MC says we can grow food in space. Even bees can adapt to space. We need water. We need water. That is the limiting factor.
Well, bees have an exoskeleton. They have the ability to, live inside of different environments. Bees and flies can live inside of a vacuum. Human beings cannot.
So we need to develop scales.
No, like what I'm saying.
Would you give it a rest, means?
If lived long.
Seriously, it's just.
Have you ever? There's a really cool channel on YouTube. There's a dude who does like vacuum pressuring stuff, right? Like where he puts stuff inside of a vacuum and sees what happens to it.
Oh, Thunderfoot.
I don't know if that's him, but he's a really cool science channel, right? And he does all types of stuff, and tests out elements and all this stuff.
Please give me the link. I love fucking science stuff.
Man, look, I'm gonna have to find it. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, but whenever you get a chance, man, I'm serious. Yeah. I love science.
Yeah, it's one of the coolest channels I've ever seen. He does all types of stuff, and he put like insects inside of these vacuum chambers, and the insects survive. But the moment he put his hand under any types of fucking negative pressure, like his entire arm turned into a color that's not natural for human beings to be. Right, human beings aren't meant to be in space, and it's going to be like 4,000, 5,000 generations until we're able to naturally be in space, even inside of a suit.
No, I would say because we are more complex than just a single-celled organism. I know a little bit about microbiology and how cells adapt, and if we're being real about this, then we would be like, if they were pregnant in space, that next body is going to have a likelihood of adapting to the environment that they're in. And then after that, now with that, you can do generations of these, and I would say it might take 10 generations to have some entity that would be fully able to go into space.
Well, no, Vash,
it's a wild assumption. 10 generations.
Okay.
There's no evidence that could be done that quickly. You could do it with genetic modification.
How
give you that.
many breeds of dogs are there?
Both of you guys. Vash, what it sounds like to me you're explaining is the same theory behind the Expanse. If you've read or listened to the audiobooks of the Expanse series, the Belters have grown up there. They can no longer go on Earth.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah. All right. They have grown tall and lanky. They are used to the low gravity. Now, before you continue, Pinoid, you were talking about welding. MC in the chat says this. You can generate electricity so you can weld, but we need higher pressure environment for long term and gravity or simulated gravity. So he's kind of rebuking you a little bit, but also agreeing that it isn't necessarily plausible long term yet. A moon, like I said before, if you did have a colony on the moon, you would have to recycle people. You would have to bring people in and out. But the moon is close enough to do that. Mars is not. Mars is a different subject.
All right, Matt, you got a bunch of kids, right?
Man, Mars is a joke.
Yes,
Matt,
I have 6 children.
Mouse is really a joke. It's just it's ridiculous.
have you ever had any of your kids have like pyloric stenosis or like problems with any of their valves inside of their bodies?
No.
All right. Well, I had my oldest son, he had reflux of the kidneys, and my youngest son, he had pyloric stenosis. And what that is there's like little flaps. They're like one-way flaps that allow stuff to only go like one way inside of your body, right? Due to how gravity's set up on Earth. Your body literally has fucking parts in it that work according to the gravity on this planet, and it's in almost every part of your body. It's why, like, when you turn upside down, like, all the blood rushes to your fucking head because you don't have any valves stopping the blood flow going upward. You literally have to replumb the human body completely in order to make this fucking work.
How long would that take?
Like we're talking like 3,000 generations to have enough of a change. Like, we're talking every part of your body would have to adjust, top to bottom. Every blood vessel, capillary inside of your fucking body would have to change.
Well, that's where the new genetic coding and the idea of picking attributes to your children would probably come into play in the future, which will cause major societal problems. I already agree that that is a bad idea. Genetically modifying children and creating super kids is a bad fucking idea. I've seen Star Trek way too much to think that's a good idea.
Not saying create super kids. What I'm saying is these are just people that lived alongside humans that have chose to just stay there. What I'm saying is this would be a natural, it would be a natural, but it would also be an artificial style of evolution.
Like you wouldn't be able to go back to Earth either once you made this change.
What's the thing? What if you could adapt to like a little bit between it, kind of like using like a ball valve or something? So rather than like all or nothing, you'd have the ability to maybe like, I have no idea how you'd be able to do it on a mass scale. Yeah, it'd take a long time, but
like I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor.
No, dude, I'm a maintenance guy. That's the only reason I bring that up is because I know ball valves are a lot easier to work with and you have like a lot less failures.
Yeah, how do you create one genetically? I have no idea.
That's a great question. I have no idea.
That's the thing is we have things in our bodies that aren't even useful anymore that we have to have taken out. Like, and even scientists, like, whenever you go up to them and medical fucking physicians and you go, hey, what's this about? And then they'll literally just look at you and go, it used to be something that we use. We don't really know for sure what it's used for, but we have theories. And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and see, man, human beings don't know a lot of shit, man. Like, a lot of fucking shit.
Dude, couldn't we use our appendixes for that?
I think appendixes were for like eating raw meat.
No, I heard of the additional digestive, but what if it could be evolved into like, I don't know, a pressure control chamber?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. This, it's
okay.
Changing bone structure.
No, but if you increase the internal temperature, that would help with pressure regulation.
But Pinoid and memes and Vash as well. Okay, you guys. I'm not necessarily saying we go dive right into genetic mutation and fucking experimentation, but I am saying we do create a base on the moon, not necessarily Asgardia, but maybe America should do that, or a private corporation. I like the private.
Well, see, that's what I think would happen, because if the UN does recognize Asgardia and they do start to launch and to start the colonizing moon, I think that would be the start of a new space race, which it could go very poorly, but it could also go very well, because President Trump would jump right in on that, trying to claim territory. President Putin would try to do that as well, and as long as we recognize mutually assured destruction, it could be good.
Well, no, and the thing is here, people are gonna die. Shit is gonna fuck up. How many people died exploring the world's oceans? How many people are still dying cave diving? How many people, die in Antarctica? How much of
humanity has progressed because of those deaths?
That's my point.
Yeah,
I say build the damn moon base. I say build it and let's see what happens.
They
That's
echo
where I.
through eternity as legends and pioneers.
What if they go into dark matter?
Ooh,
Yeah,
that
and
would be cool.
Cabbage's ideology of having a supremely dense object in the middle of a space station in order to create gravity wouldn't be a bad fucking idea.
Yeah, I mean, theoretically.
We'd have to
But
get
then
there
again,
eventually.
That's the thing is, all of this is theory. I would say that humanity, just based on our lifespans and everything and the distance, there wouldn't be relatively any way that us, just now, the way that we are, there is no way that we could actually do space travel and head to a different planet and be able to be still alive. If that were if that were a deal, then it would be like our great grandchildren would make it to that planet. So we would obviously need to evolve.
I'd lean towards what MC said in the chat though. Dark matter and dark energy doesn't exist. I would lean towards that ideology.
Well,
I've seen a bunch of papers and a bunch of documentaries on it that theoretically it does exist. It is the unknown in their simulation when they're.
Well, at the moment we have a hypothesis, then we have to get to a theory. How do you get to a theory? You got to test something.
Well, no, and I'm gonna start citing stuff more often. You guys are gonna notice. I have access to my university's digital library. I'm gonna start using it, so I will be citing sources soon and actually going deeper into some of this stuff.
Do you want to hear?
Do
you want to hear about my theory on the waterbed universe?
The waterbed universe.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, I got to hear this.
Okay. All right. So picture a waterbed, right? All right. Like it's just a big fucking mattress filled with fucking water. Now, like picture it fucking clear, right? Now, take that waterbed and put it into a fucking giant goddamn box with a whole bunch of other fucking waterbeds on top of it, right? And you poke holes in between them, right? But the pressure of all the waterbeds would hold all this shit together. So you would end up having water basically going between each side of fucking each waterbed, one into the other, right? Now, the water would be space itself. And then you would have debris that would collect up and coagulate inside of the middle. And that would be like your planets and galaxies and things of this nature. And the holes would be your black holes and white holes that allow fucking space to move in and out. And space isn't forever expanding, but it's being pressurized by the waterbed beside it. So it would expand into the point where it would reach maximum capacity and then push into a different fucking universe, which would be the next waterbed beside it. The reason I say waterbed, because it just, I don't know, it's an easier visual as far as things are concerned. And this is how the actual universe and next universes are all set up. And that's why we really don't actually understand space and gravity as it is, because space actually has real context to it.
I like waterbeds, and you're a pretty good wizard.
That's my theory on how space actually works, and I think I'm going to be proven right, because they said like the Higgs boson actually doesn't really fucking exist, and all that God particle nonsense is garbage, because they went through and they fucking tested over there at over at CERN, and it's not a real fucking thing, and string theory is basically fucking bullshit.
But my vibrations.
Interesting. I kind of like the bubble concept. I saw it explained on the History Channel, like a bathtub of soap bubbles, and each universe pops up and then goes away, and it just is a fraud.
What if it's different for different people?
Well, I don't know. We're talking about like actual, like, it's not.
So there's a multiverse theory.
Well, that's basically, it has to be a multiverse theory. Like it's had to come from somewhere.
Well, that's the soap bubble theory, pretty much, is what I'm talking about. That's the multiverses, and sometimes they merge, sometimes they go away, sometimes they expand gigantic.
It's a similar concept. It's just his thought process is basically he's trying to clarify and classify a couple other known phenomena.
Could that be possible to have ghosts? Is that possible that's what's happening?
Well, it like I'm the multiverse theory is like a whole different thing. Like they have like 3 or 4 or 5 of them, but the one that you're talking about is the one where like everything you do, somebody in the next universe is doing besides you, and it's like a dimensional theory with like fucking 5 dimensional space and all this ridiculous, I mean, nonsense, which I almost buy into because like just
It's
anecdotal
like a
shit.
Mad Libs. Insert variable here.
Yeah. It's fucking. I can't. I'm not going to sign on to it because at some point it starts to sound like, just gibberish. It's like,
well, it does. It gets into that, but it's basically like each version of you, which would be a different waterbed.
well, yeah. That's kind of like but no. I mean, mine's actual like the soap bubble theory, I mean, it's the same type of deal, but I'm just giving space an actual reason why it is that we float around inside of a large object. Like we float next to a large object on something. Like space has like actual mass to it, as I could explain it. That's the best way I know how to like say it because I'm not a fucking scientist. But we ride around on a groove. Like there's a reason we have an orbit.
Get me pissed.
It's chakra.
Okay.
Black holes. That's what I'm talking about with black holes. It's a fucking portal to the next fucking waterbed universe, to the next universe, right? You just go from one side to the next, and it's pressurized in the middle. Even light doesn't escape it. I mean, it would make sense this way. It would make way more sense.
Dude, I figured out how we traverse it. We just have to find the magic flute, play the right pitch, and then we'll be able to get to Giant World.
Einstein said the aether has mass.
That was a good one.
No, real quick, since we have dove into astrophysics for some odd reason, Tiger Lily asks, what about black holes? What do you think happens when things get sucked into them? I believe, personally, and then you guys go, I think a black hole is the entrance of a white hole, and you go into either a different dimension or a different space. All that mass goes somewhere. It doesn't just get sucked in and disappear. It could almost be like a wormhole, perhaps.
Yeah, okay, so you're going with Einstein's wormhole theory.
Yes.
All right.
That's what I'm rolling with.
Yeah. So that's where all the lost left socks have gone?
Yes. Well, the washer machine has a wormhole behind it.
Dude,
and they have to get sucked in there.
With the bubble theory, doesn't that make more sense? Like that a black hole would just lead to the next fucking universe?
Exactly. And I kind of subscribe to the bubble theory. So I'm standing by that train of thought.
The wormhole is only like picture get yourself a piece of paper and then say that is the that is what you see, what we only like in this sense we can move up to 360 different directions, but at the same time we're still on this piece of paper. Now it's put 2 dots on it, which is one is point A and then the other one is point B. Wormhole is whenever something bends that very piece of paper to make the 2 dots connect. So
turn it inside out.
Your thought of that is in a sense it's a decent theory, but there's also what Stephen Hawking was saying about his he had thought about his dark hole, and there was actually matter that was going out of it, but it was smaller than the expanse that was going into it. So what he had later theorized on it was whether or not that would eventually just cause an explosion and create a new universe.
Well, aren't they just emitting X-rays, I thought?
Hmm?
No, I heard like the particle expansion. Basically, a black hole is spinning extremely fast, and basically as energy goes into it, it's also constantly emitting X-rays, like in some weird like semicircular cylindrical path.
Like a spiral. There's some of it coming out of it, but there's more going in than coming out, and that's the reason why a black hole would become unstable, and then
Yeah. All right. We got you, Cabby. But yeah, no, it emits X-rays. But if you build a black hole bomb, which there is a video on the internet and the YouTubes about it, basically you fire off energy into it. But if you were to construct a large enough framework to absorb said energy around it, and as long as you had like let-off areas, you could theoretically create like infinite energy.
Yeah.
The ability to do that is like thousands of years off, but like the sheer fact, like that's actually theoretically possible.
Well, isn't that like they say a level 3 society is one that can build a Dyson sphere around the sun to harness pure energy? Like they have a lot of these out there.
Emits high energy photons at the poles.
Oh yeah,
protons. Oh, that's
photons.
Photons. Oh no, that is energy. The other one would just be a particle wave that would destroy everything, probably.
Has two black holes actually ever combined?
I'm not
They've
sure.
eaten each other.
But I know there is a
I
black
don't
hole.
think. I don't think they fucking.
Well, no. Theoretically, they would spin around each other, and then they would somewhat merge eventually. But I know there is a black hole at the center of the Milky Way universe, galaxy. Also Andromeda. Pretty much all the galaxies have a black hole at the center. So it seems that energy does, or at least maybe gravity does, come from the black hole initially, and control the entire, the galaxy that it inhabits.
Again, like the waterbed universe explains all of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? It makes all of it make sense.
So no, I got you. The bubble theory, the waterbed universe, like they seem like two different perspectives on kind of the same thing, the transference of energy and stuff. But the sheer fact we're talking about this, guys, wouldn't it be a good time to start an organization such as Asgardia?
Right, Asgardia. Like, we need bears. All right, we need bears in suburban neighborhoods to catch these little.
I like
kids.
bears, even though they are godless killing machines.
That's what I'm saying. We need them in suburban neighborhoods.
In space.
We need bears.
Oh no, you did
to catch
Who
these.
else?
Well,
Who else?
There's your population control.
Zombies.
Space bears.
Exactly.
Oh god, zombie space bears. Oh god, we're fucked.
What about trebuchets in space to trebuchet immigrants back into their fucking trebuchet illegal aliens back into their solar system?
The death penalty is not allowed. You need to have them proper transportation. You need to make sure they were safe.
No.
If you constructed a safe transport capsule and they were willing to do it, then that would be you'd have consent.
That's the whole point. Illegal aliens get trebucheted back into their fucking.
It sounds like a Disney ride, kind of, but you need to make it safe.
No, I don't care about illegal aliens. You know what I mean? Like,
you're gonna have to mine in the Kepler belt.
Nope. Hashtag trebuchet. Hashtag motherfucking MAGA bitches. God damn it.
All right. So any last thoughts on Asgardia? We've gone 3 hours. I'm gonna wrap her up.
We need fucking bears in suburban neighborhoods to catch these suburban fucking kids before they grow the fuck up and create Asgardia. That's the fucking thing. God damn, all these kids who would give flowers to a bear.
We shall ride these bears into space as we harvest our space minerals. If it can work in WoW, why the hell can't it work here?
Yeah, like everybody needs to be like Putin and ride the motherfucking bear. That's what I'm saying.
I agree. We should ride bears. It should be a mode of public transportation. Like, like bears should be like buses.
The bears.
Like rickshaws.
They need to give consent, though.
Alaskan transportation in the cities. That's beautiful. I like that.
We're not paying the bears memes. No. The bears will get fed and housed.
No, the bears need to be willing participants in this. We need to treat our bear brothers well.
Matt. Are you saying we need slavery for the bears? Is that the situation? Are you like a racist against bears? Is that what the deal is right now?
Wouldn't that be a speciesist? I mean, they're more of another animal than a race. Unless you're assuming that they are human.
All right, the stream has completely gone offline.
Yeah, it's done. Yeah, we're toast. So Vash, last thoughts on Asgardia or riding bears? I don't know. Is it bear slavery?
Well, if the bears become sentient and gain a sense of self, like and they're able to like communicate with other bears, then it would be bear slavery. But right now, just as they are, no, it's not. But space travel, that's gonna be a hard thing to do, but it's possible. That's all I got to say on that.
All right, yeah. And in closing, Tiger Lily says, hashtag Bear Lives Matter too.
That's the best post of the day today. I'm gonna be honest with you.
yeah. So we're gonna end on that. There you go. You win best post of the day. We're out of here. This has been the Redeye Stream number 153. Asgardia, son of a bitch.